Chapter 1346. Yi Chunfeng stepped out with his sword and dodged the attacks of more than 10 celestial race puppets in a short period of time. Watermark advertisement test bead of death. Extinguish. While the celestial race puppets sealed off the void and attacked Yi Chunfeng shot out the bead of death, hitting one of the celestial race puppets. In the next moment, the bead of death emitted a powerful devouring power that entered the celestial race puppet's body. It was like a black hole that could devour heaven and earth, crazily devouring the death energy in its body. In just 3 breaths of time, the celestial race puppet's death energy was completely devoured by the bead of death. Bang! After losing its death energy, the celestial race puppet's body suddenly exploded, sending the other celestial race puppets around it flying, breaking their combined attack. As expected, the bead of death was the nemesis of these celestial race puppets. After using the bead of death to deal with one of the celestial race puppets, Yi Chunfeng controlled the bead of death to continue attacking. In an instant, it devoured the death energy of 2 more celestial race puppets, causing them to explode. I didn't expect you to have such a treasure. Seeing the bead of death floating above Yi Chunfeng's head and killing the celestial race puppets, the man who was inspecting the spiritual fish's bloodline revealed a look of surprise. With a thought, the ancient tree behind him swayed and shot out rays of gray light that attacked Yi Chunfeng. Not good. Seeing the space in front of him shatter under the attack of the gray light, Yi Chunfeng's heart tightened. With the help of the golden wing feathers, he instantly leaped dozens of meters away, dodging the attack of the towering ancient tree. The moment he dodged, a large area of the space he had just been in collapsed, and a large hole was smashed. His reaction speed was not slow, but it was useless. The man's eyes revealed a sinister light. He controlled the ancient tree's crown to sway and shatter the void, attacking Yi Chunfeng, forcing Yi Chunfeng to be unable to control the bead of death to attack. He could only use the golden wing's feathers to dodge with all his might. How could there be such a powerful existence in the Dohan continent? The scene before him had completely subverted Lei Yi's imagination. He felt that even if the primogenitor of the Thunder Tribe was here, he might not be a match for this man before him. This man's strength had definitely surpassed the limits of the Dohan continent. Primal Chaos, what realm do you think that person's strength has reached? The Marquis of Qianming knew the origins of the Primal Chaos divine beasts and asked with a grave expression. I think that person's strength is at least at the peak of the divine saint realm, the heavily injured Chaos divine beast said in a low voice. The Tao Saint Limit Lei Yi sucked in a mouthful of cold air and said, "What kind of secret is hidden in this Tiansong domain?" While Lei Yi, the Marquis of Qianming, and the others were stunned by the scene before them, Yi Chunfeng, who was deep in the collapsed space, was enveloped by a gray light. Seeing that he was hit by the gray light, he quickly hid in the universe mirror and used the universe mirror to block the attack of the ancient tree. Rumble after withstanding the attack of the ancient tree, the indestructible universe mirror began to tremble. This greatly shocked Yi Chunfeng. This was the first time he had seen a divine object that could shake the defense of the universe mirror. When the universe mirror was withstanding the second attack of the ancient tree, it trembled violently. He quickly left the universe mirror and summoned his natal treasure, the Chaos Divine Wood. He controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to attack the ancient tree. What is that? Looking at the Chaos Divine Wood that was constantly expanding and reflecting the Chaos 5 Elements light, the man revealed a strange expression. Chaos Divine Wood break. While the man was hesitating, Yi Chunfeng controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to fly towards the towering ancient tree that was nearly 300 meters tall. It broke through its tough bark and trunk with one strike and drilled into the tree. What kind of wood is this? The man knew how hard the ancient tree trunk was. It was difficult for an ordinary divine weapon to break it. However, the Chaos Divine Wood, which was a few meters tall, easily broke a hole in the trunk and drilled into it. This made him quite surprised. Suddenly, he felt the power of the ancient tree quickly draining away. The 5-colored roots of the Chaos Divine Wood quickly penetrated the ancient tree and devoured its power. Ancient tree, break it! The man was startled. He controlled the ancient tree to quickly gather its power and attacked the Chaos Divine Wood, wanting to shatter it. Although the Chaos Divine Wood was only a young tree, it was one of the most powerful divine trees in the universe. It wasn't something that the ancient tree could shatter. Seizing the opportunity when the sky-reaching ancient tree was attacking the Chaos Divine Wood, Yi Chunfeng stepped out with his sword, leaving behind an illusory afterimage in the air. He appeared beside the celestial race puppets one by one, controlling the dead spirit pearl to continue attacking, devouring the celestial race puppets' death energy and killing them. Boom, 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 boom. Following a series of earth-shattering explosions, the celestial puppets that were so powerful that even Song Kuan Wu had a headache exploded and died one after another. Fire Qilin, kill them for me. Seeing the celestial puppets that he had spent a lot of effort to refine exploding and dying, the man who had no time to be distracted was enraged. He summoned a palm-sized, pitch-black dragon-shaped ancient talisman and handed it to the Fire Qilin. Yes, the Fire Qilin transformed into its strongest battle form. With the dragon-shaped ancient talisman in its hand, it charged towards Yi Chunfeng, wanting to stop him from killing the celestial puppets. Laozi is here, don't be arrogant. The Chaos Divine Beast roared and transformed into its battle form. It erupted with 300 million gene of strength and threw the ancient bronze coffin at the Fire Qilin. It wanted to stop it from getting close to Yi Chunfeng. Motherf *Ker, I'm going to swallow you whole. The Fire Qilin was furious. It controlled the dragon-shaped ancient talisman to block the ancient bronze coffin that was like a meteor. When the ancient bronze coffin collided with the dragon-shaped ancient talisman, an earth-shattering dragon roar resounded. A phantom of a dragon drilled out from the ancient talisman. It erupted with destructive power, shattering the quasi-saint-grade ancient bronze coffin and sending it flying. The Fire Qilin broke through the Chaos Divine Beast's attack. Song Kuan Wu and Lei Yi controlled the 2 mid-grade saint artifacts to attack the Fire Qilin. They used all their strength to suppress its attack, preventing it from attacking Yi Chunfeng. Ancient Talisman Transformation. When the Fire Qilin saw Yi Chunfeng using Song Kuan Wu and the others to attack it, it was enraged. It spat out a mouthful of demon blood and fused it with the ancient talisman. It controlled the ancient talisman to transform into an illusory divine dragon. It tore apart the attacks of the Kunwu realm and the Black Raven's sacred flag and rushed towards Yi Chunfeng. Boom! The space where Yi Chunfeng was attacked by the illusory divine dragon. A large area of it collapsed. The terrifying energy shattered the entire void, filling it with crisscrossing cracks. Although Yi Chunfeng had sensed the danger in advance and used his sword steps to dodge the illusory divine dragon's attack, he was still hit by the aftershock. His body, that was comparable to a Gu Dao treasure level, had a large number of bloody scars. Fresh blood seeped out. His body was injured by the aftershock of the ancient talisman, but it didn't slow down Yi Chunfeng's attack. He used his sword steps and flew towards the remaining 5 celestial puppets, wanting to destroy them all. Come back! The man's face sank and he quickly summoned the 5 celestial puppets back. After being devoured by the Chaos Divine Wood, the ancient tree lost 1% of its spiritual energy. However, the Chaos Divine Wood was not damaged at all. This made the man very angry. In the end, he gave up on the idea of destroying the Chaos Divine Wood and placed the spiritual fish on the ground. His body flashed, and he appeared beside Yi Chunfeng, wanting to kill him first. Boom! The man punched out, and the space within a 1-mile radius shattered. The terrifying energy swallowed Yi Chunfeng, and the entire space was in chaos. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1347. What a high-grade spatial treasure. The man frowned slightly when he saw Yi Chunfeng hiding in the Qiankuan mirror while his life was hanging by a thread. He was surprised that his all-out attack was unable to break through the Qiankuan mirror's defense. Just as he looked at Lei Yi, Marquis Qianming, and the others, Yi Chunfeng teleported them into the Qiankuan mirror in time. Boss, that bastard outside is too powerful. What should we do? Seeing the power of the man's punch, the Chaos Divine Beast was also scared. Wait, maybe the spirit fish can save us. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and said with a serious face. Facing the invincible man, Yi Chunfeng felt a little helpless. He felt that even if he used all his trump cards, he would not be able to defeat him. At this time, he could only bet on the spirit fish's background. He guessed that the spirit fish's background was definitely related to the Heaven Green domain. Once the mystery of the spirit fish's background was solved, they should be able to save them. Boom! Boom! Just as Yi Chunfeng placed his hopes on the spiritual fish and healed himself while waiting, the man took back the dragon-shaped ancient seal that was suspected to be a supreme-grade holy treasure from the fire Qilin and attacked the universe mirror, causing the universe mirror to tremble violently. Not good, the Qiankuan mirror cracked. As the Qiankuan mirror was attacked by the dragon-shaped ancient seal again and again, Yi Chunfeng was shocked to find that a crack had appeared on the indestructible defense of the Qiankuan mirror. Although the crack was not big, it was enough to prove that the man had the strength to break the Qiankuan mirror's defense. Thinking of the consequences of the Qiankuan mirror's defense being broken, Yi Chunfeng could no longer stay calm and kept thinking of ways to escape. While Yi Chunfeng was racking his brains for a solution, the canopy of the ancient trees, which were nearly 300 meters tall and covered more than 5 kilometers, began to wither. Large patches of withered branches fell from the canopy and scattered on the ground, turning into ashes. Seeing the towering ancient tree wither rapidly, the man's face revealed a trace of panic. The towering ancient tree was an ancient mutated species. There was no second one in the world. This ancient tree was closely related to his life. Once it withered, it would cause fatal damage to him. Fire Qilin, let's first work together to shatter that 5-colored divine wood, then slowly deal with those people. The man gave up on the idea of attacking the universe realm and quickly appeared beside the sky-high ancient tree that was rapidly losing its spiritual energy. He attacked the Chaos Divine Wood together with the Fire Qilin, wanting to use absolute strength to shatter it. Under the fierce attacks of the man and the Fire Qilin, the primal Chaos Divine Wood was under great pressure. The 5-colored treetop shook violently. Meanwhile, the towering ancient tree was struck by waves of terrifying destructive force. Cracks appeared on the trunk of the towering ancient tree, which was so huge that it would take nearly 100 people to wrap their arms around it. The towering ancient tree was severely damaged. However, in order to destroy the Chaos Divine Wood, the man couldn't care less. He didn't slow down his attacks. Together with the Fire Kirin, they blasted the Chaos Divine Wood out of the ancient tree trunk. Chaos Divine Wood, come back! Sensing that the Chaos Divine Wood was damaged, Yi Chunfeng immediately communicated with the Chaos Divine Wood with his mind, wanting to summon it back. Dragon-shaped ancient talisman, suppress when the Chaos Divine Wood flew back to the universe realm. The man immediately controlled the ancient talisman to transform into a dragon shape. He used the restriction space to suppress the Chaos Divine Wood. He wanted to forcefully cut off the connection between the Chaos Divine Wood and Yi Chunfeng and subdue it for his use. Buzz! Buzz! The dragon-shaped ancient talisman suppressed the Chaos Divine Wood. The man immediately squeezed out a drop of blood essence and dripped it into the Chaos Divine Wood, forcibly making it recognize him as its master. Suddenly, the drop of golden blood that was parasitizing the Chaos Divine Wood appeared and swallowed the man's blood essence in the blink of an eye. What kind of blood is this? Looking at the chaos divine wood that appeared and the golden blood that was reflecting a blinding golden light, the powerful man instinctively felt fear and pressure from the difference in level. This drop of blood must be obtained. Although the drop of blood in front of him was terrifying and made him feel danger, the man's eyes burned with desire. He had a feeling that if he could refine this drop of blood into his body, he would be able to heal his injuries that couldn't be healed and recover his peak strength. True God bloodline, refine. The man took a deep breath and activated the thin True God bloodline in his body. He wanted to use the True God bloodline to forcibly refine the drop of golden blood that appeared from the chaos divine wood. When the man forcibly refined the golden blood once again reflected a golden light that restricted the space within a few miles, isolating Yi Qinfeng's soul perception. In the next moment, in the dazzling golden light, the man's pupils shrank as he saw an illusory figure. A fear that came from the depths of his soul spontaneously rose. He took a few deep breaths and tried to suppress the fear in his heart, but facing the illusory figure, he couldn't control the fear in his heart at all. His body kept trembling. Chi. The illusory figure suddenly pointed a finger at the man. No one could describe how terrifying this finger was. When it pointed, space seemed to turn into nothingness as all the power in the surrounding space was sucked in. With this finger, time stood still and the man stood motionless as if he had been petrified. He could only watch as this finger fiercely pressed against his chest, shattering the saint artifact battle robes he was wearing and collapsing his chest. He was sent flying and slammed into the ancient tree before falling to the ground and losing all of his combat strength. And this sudden scene completely scared the fire Qilin, causing this proud saint beast to prostrate on the ground, shivering. After severely wounding the man with this finger, the illusory figure in the golden light didn't attack again. He gave the man a deep look before disappearing into the golden blood, restoring the golden space to its original state. And that man was injured. Because the golden blood had isolated space, Yi Qinfeng didn't know what had just happened. When he saw the man lying under the ancient tree and the fire Qilin shivering on the ground through the universe mirror, he was shocked. So, after hesitating for a moment, Yi Qinfeng took the risk of leaving the universe mirror and appearing outside. Putting away the chaos divine wood that had been fused with the golden blood, he carefully approached the man whose chest had collapsed and had almost lost all of his combat strength. "Who the hell are you?" At this time, the man no longer dared to underestimate Yi Qinfeng. The illusory figure in the golden blood had frightened him even more, so he didn't dare to attack Yi Qinfeng again. "Who I am is not important. What's important is why you want to kill me." Through his God-Eater brain, Yi Qinfeng found that the man's injuries were more serious than he had imagined, causing a huge wave to rise in his heart. He really wanted to know what had happened when space was sealed just now. "I killed you because I wanted to keep this place a secret," the man said weakly. "Now that you're seriously injured, shouldn't I take revenge?" A murderous light flashed across Yi Qinfeng's eyes as he pointed the dragon's spine divine sword at the man and said without a trace of emotion, "Before you do, can you let me confirm something first?" The seriously injured man whispered, "Do you want to confirm the identity of the spirit fish?" Yi Qinfeng said, "I can tell you clearly that the spirit fish is related to the master of sky beyond heaven. Not long ago, she fused with a drop of true God's blood, and that drop of true God's blood came from sky beyond heaven." Mobile reading home, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1348. Really? The man's pale face showed a trace of excitement. "What is the secret of the Tian-Tsang domain? If you are willing to tell me the secret of the Tian-Tsang domain, maybe I will spare your life." Yi Qinfeng looked at the excited man and asked in a low voice, "Let me confirm her identity first." The man took a deep breath and stabilized his injuries. What? Are you trying to stall for time? Yi Chunfeng frowned and said with a murderous look. You have the protection of that drop of blood. Do you think I can kill you? The man showed a trace of a bitter smile and shook his head. That drop of blood is the drop of golden blood that I got in the abyss of hell? Through the man's words, Yi Chunfeng finally knew why the invincible man was suddenly seriously injured. If this drop of blood is really related to my life, why can't I refine it? Yi Chunfeng was puzzled. Well, I will give you time to confirm the identity of the spiritual fish. After pondering for a while, Yi Chunfeng decided to take a risk. He did not kill the man, but let him use his blood as a guide to merge into the spiritual fish's body to confirm her identity. True God bloodline, divine ape bloodline, she is really the only bloodline left by Master. After repeatedly confirming the identity of the spiritual fish, the man was so excited that he could not speak. His eyes turned red. His finger gently unlocked the seal in the spiritual fish's sea of soul and woke her up from her coma. After elder brother Chunfeng woke up, the spirit fish reacted instinctively and jumped to Yi Chunfeng's side. It looked at the seriously injured man as if it was facing a great enemy. Elder brother Chunfeng, let's leave quickly. Spiritual fish, don't be afraid. He won't hurt us anymore. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and gently stroked the spiritual fish's little head. He showed a doting smile and said, Do you want to know the mystery of your life? I think he can answer it for you. The spiritual fish blinked her big eyes and looked at the pale and seriously injured man. Now, can you tell us the secret of the Azure Heaven domain and the origin of the spiritual fish? Yi Chunfeng asked slowly. The secret I am guarding should only be told to Junior Sister, but you are very special and have a close relationship with Junior Sister, so I will tell you this secret. I hope that one day, you can help Junior Sister inherit Master's legacy. Borrowing the support of the sky-reaching ancient tree, the man stabilized his body and said, But after you find out, I hope you can keep this place a secret. Don't worry, I won't say anything. Yi Chunfeng nodded and promised. Junior Sister, just who are you? The spirit fish blinked its big eyes and looked at the man whose gaze had become friendly. For some reason, it felt a sense of closeness from him. My name is Ming Shifang, and I am Master's youngest disciple. Master is the master of the heaven region's North Underworld Mountain, the Lord of the North Underworld. The man said in an earth-shattering voice. You didn't lie to me when you said that my father is the owner of the North Underworld Mountain in the heaven region. The spirit fish frowned slightly, feeling incredulous. Junior Sister, look what this is. Ming Shifang moved his mind and controlled the true God bloodline to appear in his palm. The spirit fish widened her eyes and said, But why is your true God bloodline so thin? This is because the true God bloodline in my body was transplanted by Master. Naturally, it is not as strong as the true God bloodline that Junior Sister inherited from Master, Ming Shifang explained. Then can you tell me why I am in the Western continent and where are my parents? Because of the existence of the true God bloodline. The spirit fish believed Ming Shifang's words and continued to ask. Master should be in the sky beyond heaven, but I don't know if he is alive or dead. Ming Shifang took a deep breath and fell into deep memories. Junior Sister, when you were just born, our North Underworld Mountain suffered a great disaster. Our inheritance was destroyed, and we were hunted by our enemies. Master exhausted his lifespan and tore open the gate of the heaven region, taking us away from the heaven region. We wandered in the universe for a long time before finally hiding in the Duhan continent. At that time, Junior Sister, you were seriously injured and your life was hanging by a thread. In order to prolong your life, Master sealed you in the blood stone of the source of life for hundreds of thousands of years. As for Master's wife, she is more mysterious. I only know that she is from the ape god lineage. Master's wife did not appear in the battle back then. I guess she is still in the heaven region. Senior brother, what happened back then? Who is our enemy? The spirit fish clenched her small fists tightly and asked angrily. Our enemy is the Sky Domain's Sky Domain's Sky Domain's Sky Lord. All of this is because of the two great treasures that Master brought back from the Sky Domain's divine ruins, Ming Shifang continued. Back then, Master and Sky Lord had a very good relationship. They went to explore the divine ruins together. Master was lucky and made it to the core of the divine ruins. He brought back two great treasures from the divine ruins. It was because of these two great treasures that Sky Lord became jealous and took the risk to gather experts to kill us. In that battle, eldest senior brother, second senior brother, and the others all died in battle. Master was also seriously injured. Fortunately, Master gave it his all and escaped. Later, there were people from the Sky Domain who found this place. However, I used the dojo left behind by Master to kill them all. It seems that my guess was right. The spirit fish's background is related to the sky beyond heaven. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath. Yes, not only the sky beyond heaven, even the Sky Domain was left behind by Master. The key to opening the sky beyond heaven is also with me. So the key to opening the sky beyond heaven is here. Yi Chunfeng finally understood why the Central World had given birth to so many peerless geniuses over the course of history, but no one had ever entered the sky beyond skies. Senior brother, I want to go to the sky beyond heaven to see Father. I feel that he is definitely not dead. Can you give me the key? The spirit fish bit her lips tightly. She still had a trace of hope in her heart. I can give you the key to opening the sky beyond heaven, but you must be careful when opening it. Ming Shifang said solemnly, this world has the inheritance left behind by the Sky Domain. Once the Sky Domain opens, the people of the Sky Domain will most likely sense it. When that time comes, the Sky Domain will descend and this world will be in chaos. Your lives will be in danger. Senior brother, you are so powerful. Why don't you come with us to the Central World and destroy the inheritance of the Sky Domain? Then we will open the sky beyond heaven. The spirit fish bit her lips tightly and said angrily. Sigh, in the battle that year, I was also heavily injured. In order to prolong my life, Master sacrificed his lifespan to move this sky-reaching ancient tree for me. He merged my life with the sky-reaching ancient tree. Once I leave the Sky Domain and the sky-reaching ancient tree, my life will come to an end. Ming Shifang sighed softly and said, Then senior brother, is there any way to heal your injuries? Because the same blood flowed in their bodies, the spirit fish accepted Ming Shifang in her heart. She saw him as family and didn't want anything to happen to him. Even Master couldn't heal my injuries. There is no medicine that can cure me. Ming Shifang shook his head and said resignedly, But God is kind to me. He allowed me to wait for junior sister in my lifetime. Come, junior sister, I will now give you the key to the sky beyond heaven. I hope you can inherit Master's legacy and ascend to the Sky Domain. You can destroy the Sky Lord and avenge Master and senior brothers. As he spoke, an ancient plate with winding ancient patterns appeared in Ming Shifang's mouth. This ancient plate was the key to opening the sky beyond heaven. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1349. Well, I've said what I need to say. Is there anything else you want to know? Ming Shifang took a deep breath, looked at Yi Chunfeng, and said slowly after giving the key to the sky beyond heaven that he had guarded for hundreds of thousands of years to the spiritual fish. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. What was the most precious treasure in sky beyond heaven? Yi Chunfeng hesitated for a moment before asking the question in his heart. It's the primitive Tao fetus and the transcendent saint weapon. Ming Shifang hesitated for a moment before answering truthfully. The primitive Tao fetus, the transcendent saint weapon Yi Qinfeng sucked in a breath of cold air. He finally knew why the Sky Lord did not hesitate to fall out with the Lord of the North Deep, destroy the foundation of the North Deep Mountain, and take the risk to kill him. The transcendent saint weapon could be said to be the top treasure in the Qin Yun realm, above the saint weapon and true spirit saint weapon, with the terrible power to destroy the world. And the primitive Tao fetus was even more precious than the transcendent saint weapon. The primitive Tao fetus was one of the most powerful divine stones in the universe, and it was also a divine object to refine doppelgangers. According to the memory in the God-Eater's brain, an invincible existence was born in the Qin Yun realm, and the stone god was born from the primitive Tao fetus after countless years. It could be said that obtaining the primitive Tao fetus was equivalent to controlling a future invincible powerhouse, and anyone would be jealous of it. Senior, I'll give you this grass of life. It should help your injury. Yi Qinfeng no longer hated Ming Shifang, and he had a feeling that Ming Shifang was very important to the opening of sky beyond heaven. He was not stingy and gave him a precious grass of life with the power to revive the dead to heal his injury. I didn't expect you to have such a spiritual item. Ming Shifang's eyes lit up. He took the grass of life from Yi Qinfeng and checked it several times. He showed a hint of joy and said, I don't know if you have more grass of life. If you do, I'm willing to exchange it with elixirs. What elixirs? Yi Qinfeng asked. 3 pills of Heaven Saint Broken Shackle that I refined in the past. Ming Shifang took out 3 pills of Heaven Saint Broken Shackle from his Qiankuan ring. Tianxing breaking pellet. Yi Qinfeng's heart skipped a beat as he revealed an extremely excited expression. What he needed the most right now was the Heavenly Saint breaking pellet. If he could obtain the Heavenly Saint breaking pellet, he would be able to break through the shackles of the world and break through to the Tao Saint realm in the Duhan continent. You know about this pill? Ming Shifang asked in surprise as he looked at the excited Yi Qinfeng. I was fortunate enough to obtain the pill formula for the Heavenly Sage breaking pellet from a senior. According to that senior, he obtained the pill formula in the outskirts of skies beyond. Yi Qinfeng did not hide anything and spoke the truth. Give me the pill formula you obtained and let me take a look at it, Ming Shifang said. Okay. Yi Qinfeng nodded. He took out the Heavenly Saint Flail pill recipe that he had kept for a long time and handed it to Ming Shifang. Your pill formula isn't complete. It's still missing a few main ingredients. Ming Shifang glanced at the pill formula and shook his head. Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly and said, What kind of main ingredients are missing in this pill formula? Well, I'll tell you the complete pill formula of the Heavenly Saint Flail pellet. With your pill formula as the foundation, you only need to add the psychic green lotus, koan wood, and the reincarnation fruit to refine the real Heavenly Saint Flail pellet. However, the phoenix blood Ganoderma and the most important reincarnation fruit are extremely rare. It's very difficult to find them in this world. The Heavenly Saint Flail pellet that I refined back then was also missing the 2 main ingredients, the phoenix blood Ganoderma and the reincarnation fruit. I could only melt 1 real Heavenly Saint Flail pellet and refine 3. However, the medicinal effect was only half of the real Heavenly Saint Flail pellet, Ming Shifang said slowly. Yi Qinfeng asked with some disappointment as the Heavenly Saint Flail pellet in Senior's hand was not complete. These 3 Heavenly Saint Flail pellets are only useful for the supreme beings of the Nirvana heavenly realm. Ming Shifang nodded and said, For someone like you who is a level 6 combat beast emperor, taking this incomplete Heavenly Saint Flail pellet will not be able to break the shackles of the world. Senior, thank you for telling me. Can I exchange these 2 living spirit grasses and 2 living spirits for these 3 Heavenly Saint Flail pellets? Although the incomplete Heavenly Saint Flail pellets were not very useful to Yi Qinfeng, for Tsang Kunwu and the ancestor of the Thunder Clan, they were like divine elixirs. Yi Qinfeng took out 2 more living spirit grasses and 2 living spirits, and exchanged them for 3 incomplete Heavenly Saint flail pellets from Ming Shifang. Although there are no great opportunities in the Tian-Tsang domain, this place has existed for hundreds of thousands of years and has nurtured a large number of spirit veins. You can cultivate here for a while, Ming Shifang suggested after swallowing the 3 stalks of living spirit grass and 2 balls of living spirit grass. All right, then we'll cultivate here for a while, Yi Chunfeng said with a nod. Junior Marshal Sister, during this time, you can cultivate with me. I will do my best to improve your strength and strengthen your bloodline, Ming Shifang said. Thank you, Senior Marshal Brother. Ling Yu nodded and stayed by Ming Shifang's side to cultivate. Without the interference of the Dao field, Yi Chunfeng and the others each occupied a spirit vein in the center of the Tian-Tsang domain to cultivate. Senior Tsang, I want to make a deal with you. Yi Chunfeng found Tsang Kunwu, who had occupied a spirit vein and was preparing to nourish his old body, and said, What deal? Tsang Kunwu, who was sitting cross-legged, raised his head slightly and looked at Yi Chunfeng. I want Senior to follow me for 10 years and protect us. The reward is a pill that has a high probability of allowing Senior to break through the limit of the Nirvana heavenly realm and reach a whole new realm. The central world was complicated, and Yi Chunfeng needed Tsang Kunwu's terrifying battle strength. He wanted to keep him by his side. What pill do you have? Tsang Kunwu's snow-white eyebrows twitched. He revealed a look of disbelief and asked excitedly. Although he had left the Dao field when he was still alive, he only had 1,000 years of lifespan left. His body was also aging. If he wanted to preserve his life, he could only stay in the longevity stone. If Yi Chunfeng really had a pill that could allow him to break through the limit of the Nirvana heavenly realm, then the situation would be different. Not to mention 10 years, even if it was 100 or 1,000 years, he would be willing. But that pill cannot guarantee Senior's 100% chance of breaking through. Senior must be mentally prepared. Yi Chunfeng nodded. I understand. I will now swear by the heavenly Dao. When he thought of Yi Chunfeng's heaven-defying methods, Tsang Kunwu was convinced. He didn't hesitate to swear by the heavenly Dao to follow Yi Chunfeng for 10 years and protect him. Senior, this heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill is for you. I wish you good luck. After Tsang Kunwu swore by the heavenly Dao, Yi Chunfeng gave him an incomplete heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill. After receiving the heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill, Tsang Kunwu swallowed it without hesitation. In the next moment, he felt that the bottleneck of the Nirvana heavenly realm had loosened. He was so excited that his body trembled. He got rid of all distracting thoughts and quickly refined the heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill to break through to the next realm. When Tsang Kunwu used the heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill to break through to the 4-star Dao Saint realm, Yi Chunfeng went to the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion and gave it another heavenly sage shackle-breaking pill, allowing it to break through to the Saint Beast realm as soon as possible. After giving away 2 heavenly saint breaking pellets in succession, Yi Chunfeng sealed the last heavenly saint breaking pellet and put it away properly. He came to a spirit vein's origin and circulated the soul-devouring art. As he absorbed the spirit vein's origin to cultivate, he controlled the god-devouring brain to comprehend the 5 great soul fragments to increase his comprehension of the Tao. Very quickly, half a year passed by. Suddenly, Yi Chunfeng, who was comprehending the 5 soul fragments, was awakened by the terrifying sound of heavenly punishment. He discovered that the spirit fish was bathed in heavenly punishment and was trying to break through to the rank 6 combat beast emperor realm. Happy New Year to all my friends. Reading website. This book's address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1350. Heaven's Punishment Break. The spiritual fish roared. The godly ape's bloodline and the true god's bloodline merged together, forming a terrifying bloodline shadow. It pierced through the sky and tore apart the heavens' punishment that was pouring down. After tearing apart the heavens' punishment, the spiritual fish stepped on the blood cloud and rushed into the tumbling clouds. It received the most direct baptism of the heavens' punishment in the clouds. The thunder that sounded like the roar of the thunder god resounded through the sky. It didn't dissipate for a long time, swallowing all the sounds in the world. The endless energy formed a terrifying shockwave that kept exploding in the sky. The spiritual fish's heaven's punishment attacked recklessly for 2 days and 2 nights before it gradually dissipated. After surviving the terrifying heaven's punishment, the spiritual fish successfully broke through to the 6th-level combat beast emperor realm. The 2 bloodlines in its body became stronger, and its physical strength increased to 300 million pounds. Not long after the spiritual fish passed the heaven's punishment in its strongest state, a terrifying cloud appeared in the sky above the center of vast heaven domain. This cloud was even scarier than the spiritual fish's cloud. It completely covered the void and locked onto the golden clear dragon blood lion that was quickly transforming. The golden clear dragon blood lion originally came from the heavenly domain. Now that it had taken the heavenly saint breaking pellet, it started to break through to the sacred beast realm. Maybe it was because it was in vast heaven domain, but when the golden clear dragon blood lion accepted the baptism of the sacred beast tribulation and tried to break through to the sacred beast realm, the heaven's punishment didn't appear with the power of the world. After resisting the bombardment of the sacred beast tribulation for 2 days and 2 nights, it smoothly passed the sacred beast tribulation and broke through to the lower sacred beast realm. Its true dragon and golden lion bloodlines were several times denser. 5 elements diagram, transformation. After the golden clear dragon blood lion broke through to the sacred beast realm, the chaotic vast heaven domain returned to peace. Yi Qinfeng, who had cleared his mind, finally cultivated the 5 elements diagram to the spirit diagram realm through the God-Eater brain's deduction. Amazing! In this low-level world, he actually cultivated the 5 elements diagram. It was really not simple. Looking at the 5 elements diagram floating above Yi Qinfeng's head, Ming Shifang couldn't help but think of the mysterious golden shadow that had injured him with one finger. He felt that Yi Qinfeng wasn't simple. He must be hiding a shocking secret. Heaven and Earth Tao diagram, transformation. Not long after he cultivated the 5-element Tao diagram to the spiritual diagram realm, Yi Qinfeng also cultivated the Heaven and Earth Tao diagram to the spiritual diagram realm. A few days later, the life and death Tao diagram and the illusory Tao diagram floating above Yi Qinfeng's head transformed into the spirit diagram stage. At this moment, besides the sword soul that Yi Qinfeng mainly cultivated, all the other Tao insights had attained the spirit diagram realm. How the hell did he do it? Looking at the 5 Tao diagrams floating above Yi Qinfeng's head, Ming Shifang's eyes widened in shock. Of the 5, 4 had transformed into spirit-grade Tao diagrams. He was unable to imagine that Yi Qinfeng, who had cultivated for less than 50 years, would actually have a comprehension of Tao insights that far surpassed him. After cultivating the 4 spirit-grade Tao diagrams, Yi Qinfeng controlled the God-Eater brain and focused on comprehending the soul fragments that contained the sword Tao intent. His sword soul underwent a qualitative change and increased his comprehension of the sword Tao. Soon, a year had passed. The silver light emitted from the bronze sword soul became more and more intense. The bronze sword soul took another small step towards becoming a silver sword soul. At this moment, an earth-shattering thunderclap broke the silence in the vast heaven domain and awakened Yi Qinfeng and the others. After refining the heavenly saint breaking pellet and the entire spirit vein's source, Song Kuan Wu had taken the most difficult step and attracted the terrifying heaven's punishment that contained the power of the world. As long as he could perfectly pass through the heaven's punishment and receive the deepest baptism, he would be able to borrow the power of the heaven's punishment to break through the limits of his cultivation and reach the 4-star Tao Saint realm. The heaven's punishment that contained the power of the world was extremely terrifying. Even with Song Kuan Wu's strength, it was still difficult for him to withstand it. In addition, he was too old and couldn't unleash his peak strength. He was badly mutilated by the heaven's punishment and was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. However, being trapped in the vast heaven domain had tempered his heart of martial Tao. In addition, he had lived for countless years and had an extraordinary foundation. Facing the heaven's punishment that was almost impossible to resist, he didn't retreat and used all sorts of methods to resist it. After enduring the baptism of the heaven's punishment for 3 days and 3 nights while hovering between life and death, Song Kuan Wu, whose body was almost destroyed and his will to resist grew weaker and weaker, finally passed through the terrifying heaven's punishment. His entire body and Tao energy began to transform and his nearly destroyed body began to recover. Congratulations to Senior for taking the most difficult step. Yi Chunfeng quickly appeared beside the badly mutilated Song Kuan Wu. He took out an ancient Tao pellet and stuffed it into Song Kuan Wu's bloody mouth as he congratulated him. Thank you. Although Song Kuan Wu was badly mutilated by the heaven's punishment, he couldn't hide his excited expression. Not even in his dreams would he have thought that there would be a day when he would break through to the realm that countless people dreamed of. Senior, you should return to the universe realm to recuperate. I believe that in at most 2 years, you will be able to consolidate your cultivation and become a true 4-star Tao Saint. Yi Chunfeng said happily from the bottom of his heart. With Song Kuan Wu's support, the Nirvana Heavenly Realm experts would no longer be a threat to him. Young Master Yi, is Senior Tsang breaking through the limit of the Duhan continent related to you? Lei Yi's eyes widened when he heard the hidden meaning in Song Kuan Wu's words. Lei Yi, Marquis Qianming, both of you cultivate well. If the both of you reach the limit of the Duhan continent one day, I will give you an opportunity to break through the limit. However, whether you can take the final step will depend on your luck. Yi Chunfeng promised. Thank you. Lei Yi and the Marquis of Qianming exchanged glances as they spoke in wild joy. In their hearts, they rejoiced that they had submitted to Yi Chunfeng. Otherwise, Yi Chunfeng would definitely not have given them such a rare opportunity. Time flew by quickly and 2 months passed in the blink of an eye. In these 2 months, the Pegasus and the dual-headed lizard had both broken through to become level 9 heavenly beasts. As for Yi Chunfeng, he had completely comprehended the soul fragment and further refined his bronze sword soul. However, the space swallower's evolution speed was extremely slow and there were no signs of it transforming into a saint beast. 1 year and 2 months later, it was time to leave. His strength had increased and he had cultivated the 4 spirit-grade Tao diagrams. Yi Chunfeng stopped cultivating and sent everyone and the demonic beasts into the Qiankuan realm. He found the spiritual fish that was cultivating with Ming Shifang. Spiritual fish, I'm going to leave the Tiansong region. Do you want to continue cultivating with your senior or come with me? Brother Chingfeng, I'll go with you, the spiritual fish said without hesitation. Junior sister, I'll let the fire Qilin follow you. With it protecting you, I can rest assured. Ming Shifang suggested as he knew that the central world was full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. He was afraid that something would happen to the spiritual fish. Okay. The spiritual fish's eyes lit up and she said happily. Almost all the treasures I had were destroyed. I only have these 2 medial-grade saint artifacts left. I'll give them to you. Ming Shifang was not stingy. He gave the medial-grade saint artifact, the great sacred spear, and the medial-grade saint garment, the 10 layers armor to the spiritual fish. He also gave more than a dozen low-grade saint artifacts that he had obtained from killing the celestial races almighties back then to Yi Chunfeng. Most of the low-grade saint artifacts that Ming Shifang had given him were low-grade saint swords. In addition to the supreme grade Dao swords that Yi Chunfeng had obtained from killing powerful enemies in the early days, he had gathered 108 Qiankuan swords. Among these 108 Qiankuan swords, 8 of them had reached the level of low-grade saint swords. This made the Qiankuan sword formation extremely terrifying. Its power was comparable to a medial-grade saint artifact. Let's go. I'll send you away. After giving away many treasures that would make Nirvana Realm Almighties jealous, Ming Shifang took them to the spatial teleportation array. Junior sister, take care of yourselves. Remember not to open sky beyond without full confidence. Ming Shifang took a deep breath and exhorted. With that, Ming Shifang opened the spatial teleportation array that had been sealed for a long time and teleported Yi Chunfeng, the spiritual fish, and the fire Qilin away. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1351. In the endless forest, southwest of the purple gold imperial city, there was a huge mountain range that stretched for miles. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. The ancient trees in the mountain covered the sky. In the depths of the forest, there were even terrifying demonic beasts roaming about. It was very dangerous. Second Princess, Ranxian, we can't go any deeper. If we go any deeper, we might encounter terrifying demonic beasts and be in mortal danger. A Grade 4 Earth Beast General wearing a long robe embroidered with a Qilin pattern said in a low voice. His hair was white, and he had a thick black beard around his mouth. He looked at the surrounding environment and felt a chill in his heart. But we haven't found the spirit herb. Without the spirit herb, Mother won't be able to mutate her spiritual beast and break through to the Heaven Beast immortal realm. She was wearing a pink martial arts suit. Her skin was whiter than snow, and she had a baby face. Her eyes were like clear water, and her appearance was extremely beautiful. She looked like she was only 16 or 17 years old. She frowned and said unwillingly, "That's right, Uncle Huatian. Let's go over the mountain in front. There might be spirit herbs growing there." Another tall young woman wearing a black martial arts suit nodded. She had an oval face and quick-witted eyes. She gave off a mischievous vibe and a moving aura. "All right, after we go over the mountain in front, if there aren't any spirit herbs, we'll go back." The Qilin-robed man nodded. He led 6 guards wearing silver armor and holding sharp weapons to protect the 2 women as they shuttled through the ancient trees. They went over a mountain with lush vegetation in front of them. Spirit Qi, such rich spirit Qi. There are spirit herbs nearby. The group had just gone over the mountain when they suddenly felt the spirit Qi in the air become rich. This made their eyes light up, and they immediately split up to search for spirit herbs in the mountain. Vermilion fruit tree, that's a vermilion fruit tree. When they found a secluded mountain valley covered by ancient trees, they found a vermilion fruit tree that was more than 4 meters tall. It was verdant and emitted rich spirit Qi. There were 4 blood-red fruits on the tree. Blood vermilion fruit, the highest grade among the vermilion fruit. The Qilin-robed man was very knowledgeable. He immediately recognized that the 4 vermilion fruits in front of him were not ordinary vermilion fruit. They were extremely valuable blood vermilion fruit. Even in the sect, they were incredible spirit items. "You guys stay here and don't move. I'm going to pick those 4 blood-red fruit." Since ancient times, spiritual herbs were guarded by demonic beasts. The more powerful the spiritual herb was, the more terrifying the demonic beasts guarding it would be. The man in the Qilin robe showed a cautious expression. He took out a long silver sword from his Qiankuan bag and carefully approached it. Hiss when the Qilin-robed man approached the vermilion fruit tree, the ground beneath his feet began to tremble. From the ground that was covered in a thick layer of fallen leaves, a several dozen meter long, brightly colored, as thick as a water bucket, 7 inches long, with a pair of fleshy wings on its back, darted out. Not good. It's a 6th-grade spirit beast, the flesh-winged snake. The Qilin-robed man's expression changed slightly when he saw the brightly colored snake opening its bloody mouth to bite him. He recognized the snake's origin. The meat-winged snake was a snake species. It moved extremely fast and its body contained deadly poison. It was extremely dangerous. However, the 4 blood-red fruits were too precious, so the man in the Qilin robe took the risk and attacked with all his might with the silver sword in his hand. He wanted to use the supreme-grade spiritual weapon in his hand to force the snake back. A 6th-grade spiritual beast was comparable to a 6th-grade earth beast general, while the man in the Qilin robe was only a 4th-grade earth beast general. Even with the help of a supreme-grade spiritual weapon, he was unable to force the meat-winged snake back. State Preceptor beware. Seeing that the man in the Qilin robe was in danger, the 6 silver-armored guards disregarded their own safety and rushed forward. They held sharp spears in their hands and stabbed at the meat-winged snake. Being attacked by 6 silver-armored guards at the same time, the meat-winged snake was distracted. Seizing this opportunity, the man in the Qilin robe took a deep breath and flew up. He forcefully passed through the poisonous gas that the meat-winged snake spat out and approached the blood-red fruit tree. He chopped down 2 blood-red fruits with his sword. Hiss, hiss, hiss. When the meat-winged snake saw that the man in the Qilin robe dared to touch the 4 blood-red fruits that it had guarded for several years and were about to ripen, it was immediately enraged. It fiercely whipped its huge snake tail with tens of thousands of kilograms of force towards the silver-armored guards who were attacking with all their might. The terrible force instantly shattered the bodies of 3 silver-armored guards. It chased after the man in the Qilin robe and spat out dark green poisonous gas, wanting to poison him to death. The man in the Qilin robe had experienced hundreds of battles. In the critical moment, he was not flustered. Using the blood-red fruit tree as a barrier, he blocked the poisonous gas that attacked him. He quickly chopped down the remaining 2 blood-red fruits with his sword and put them into his arms. Then, he fled out of the valley at an extremely fast speed. State Preceptor, you go first. We will block for you. The remaining 3 silver-armored guards did not hesitate to use their bodies to block the meat-winged snake. They held sharp spears in their hands and attacked with all their might. Let's go. Although the man in the Qilin robe was grieving, he knew that now was not the time to hesitate. He took the 2 pale women and fled out of the valley at an extremely fast speed. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The angry meat-winged snake repeatedly launched fatal attack. It bit the 3 silver-armored guards who were desperately trying to block it to death. It broke several tall ancient trees and chased after the man in the Qilin robe and the others with all its might. The meat-winged snake was good at speed. In the blink of an eye, it had closed the distance between the man in the Qilin robe and the other 2. Out of the corner of their eyes, they saw the meat-winged snake with its bloody mouth open. It was getting closer and closer. The 2 women were trembling in fear. Second Princess, Ranxian, take the blood-red fruits and run quickly. I will block the meat-winged snake for you. The man in the Qilin robe made up his mind. He handed the 4 blood-red fruits to the tall woman in black and urged her anxiously. No, we have to go together, the 2 young women said with tears in their eyes. Go quickly. If you don't go now, it will be too late. The man in the Qilin robe shouted, These 4 blood-red fruits are very important to our Zijin kingdom. We cannot lose them. Hiss, hiss, hiss. While the 2 women were hesitating, the meat-winged snake opened its bloody mouth and bit towards them. The man in the Qilin robe used his silver sword to block with all his strength. The crazy meat-winged snake was too scary. The man in the Qilin robe could not block it at all. Moreover, the meat-winged snake's dark green poisonous gas was constantly invading his body. Gradually, the man in the Qilin robe felt weak all over his body. His head was dizzy and his resistance was getting weaker and weaker. Ranxian, let's go. The woman in black clenched her teeth. She pulled the delicate woman's hand and ran towards the dense forest at an extremely fast speed. Die. In order to give the two women time to escape, the man in the Chilan robe stimulated all the potential in his body. He held the silver sword and attacked without fear of death. He did not give the meat-winged snake a chance to kill the two women. However, he was poisoned too deeply. He could not block the meat-winged snake at all. His injuries were getting worse and worse. Seeing that the man in the Chilan robe was about to be bitten to death by the meat-winged snake, a blurry figure appeared and grabbed the meat-winged snake's tail. With a fierce force, the meat-winged snake's huge body was directly thrown into the air. It turned into a small dot and disappeared in the air. The next moment, the blurry figure strangely disappeared again. The man in the Chilan robe, who had just escaped from death's door and was deeply poisoned, was stunned. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1352. Ranxian, do you think something will happen to Uncle Huatian? Will that meat-winged snake come after us? Ingyu, who was wearing a black martial arts suit, was extremely frightened. Her face was slightly pale, and she bit her lips tightly. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. I don't know either. Yi Ranxian, whose eyes were brimming with tears, shook her head vigorously. The scene that had just happened deeply stimulated her heart, making her heart feel like it was being cut by a knife. She was terrified, and her instincts drove her legs to run for her life. Slowly, the sky darkened. After running for who knows how many miles, the two women realized that they were lost. We seem to be lost. This is not the way down the mountain. Looking at the unfamiliar surroundings, the steep cliffs, and the dim light, the two women were even more frightened. Their bodies were tightly pressed together, and their hearts were in a mess. They didn't know what to do. Suddenly, a light footstep entered their ears. They were so scared that they trembled, and all the hair on their bodies stood up. Tightly holding the long swords in their hands, they turned around and saw a man in a white martial arts suit with an extraordinary aura slowly walking towards them. This person was none other than Yi Chenfeng, who had teleported out of the vast heaven domain and coincidentally appeared in the endless forest. Who are you? Don't come over, or I won't be polite to you. Looking at Yi Chenfeng's unfamiliar face, Yi Ranxian braced herself and warned loudly. Are you from the Yi clan? Yi Chenfeng smiled faintly and asked softly as he looked at Yi Ranxian, who was wearing a pink martial arts suit. Yi Ranxuan's beautiful appearance gave him a sense of familiarity. How do you know? The pretty woman widened her beautiful eyes and asked in surprise. Is your mother Yi Xiling? Yi Chenfeng saw that Yi Ranxian and Yi Xiling looked very similar, so he guessed her identity and continued to ask. Do you know my mother? Yi Chenfeng said Yi Xiling, and the fear in Yi Ranxian and the other woman's hearts lessened a lot. And Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, How are your mother and the others? Yi Ranxian blinked her long eyelashes, looked at Yi Chenfeng and asked, Oh right, what's your name? Why haven't I seen you before? When you see your mother, she will tell you who I am. Yi Chenfeng smiled, not revealing his identity. Let's go. It's getting dark. Let's find a quiet place to talk. After that, Yi Chenfeng walked towards the forest in the distance. Looking at Yi Chenfeng's back, the two women hesitated for a moment before following him. Ranxian, do you think this person is intentionally trying to get close to us because he's plotting for the blood-red fruits on us, or perhaps he's plotting something against us? Ingyu lowered her voice to a whisper and sent it into Yi Ranxuan's ears, as she cautiously asked. Yi Ranxuan's expression changed slightly. Thinking of her and the black-clothed woman's appearance and the value of the blood-red fruit, she nervously transmitted her voice. What should we do? If he is really a pervert, then we are finished. How about we run away? This person dared to appear in the endless forest. His strength is definitely greater than yours and mine. We can't act rashly. Inu pondered for a moment and transmitted her voice. After we settle down, we will find a chance to poison him. As long as he is poisoned, we will be safe. If he finds out about the poison, it will most likely anger him. At that time, we will be in a worse situation. Yuranxian worriedly said. Don't worry, I got this bag of poison from the Imperial Palace's treasure vault. It is colorless and tasteless. As long as we take a little, we will feel weak. At that time, he won't be a threat to us. Yuranxian gently bit her pink lips and nodded her small head. This place is not bad. Let's settle down here tonight. Yi Chunfeng noticed the vigilance in the two women's eyes. He didn't force them to leave. Instead, he found a valley full of bushes to rest. Uncle, we are a bit hungry. Let's go hunt some game to eat. You wait for us here. Inyu's eyes rolled slightly as she said in a sweet voice. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, But don't go too far. Otherwise, you will be in danger. We understand. After that, the two women held hands and went into the dimly lit mountain forest. When Yi Chunfeng started a fire in the valley, he was startled and revealed a smile. His powerful soul perceived that the two women had killed 2 pheasants and were smearing poison on one of the pheasants. After a while, the 2 women came back with 2 cleaned pheasants. They walked to the fire and skewered the pheasants on the branches to roast them. Soon, a smell of meat spread out. Yi Ranxian handed a roasted golden pheasant to Yi Chunfeng and said, Uncle, you must be hungry. This pheasant is for you. I am not hungry. You can eat it. Yi Chunfeng glanced at the pheasant smeared with poison and shook his head. Uncle, we carefully roasted this for you. If you don't eat it, we will be sad. Inu purposely leaned closer to Yi Chunfeng as she picked up the fragrant roasted pheasant and spoke in a delicate voice. I like roasted and tender ones. I will eat that one. Yi Chunfeng smiled and deliberately said, Uncle, I will feed you. In order to let Yi Chunfeng eat the roasted pheasant smeared with poison, Inu threw caution to the wind. She broke off a roasted pheasant leg covered in poison and stuck close to him, taking the initiative to feed it to his mouth. Okay, I will eat it myself. Looking at the young and beautiful Inu who would not give up until she reached her goal, Yi Chunfeng shook his head. He took the pheasant leg from her hand and ate it. Seeing Yi Chunfeng successfully eat the poisoned pheasant leg, Inu and Yi Ranxian looked at each other and smiled. They were completely relieved. But they did not know that this kind of poison had no effect on Yi Chunfeng. The night passed quickly. Under the deterrence of Yi Chunfeng's aura, the demonic beasts in the endless forest did not dare to come close to the valley. They spent the night peacefully. Let's go down the mountain. Yi Chunfeng spat out a mouthful of turbid air and stretched his body. He woke up Yi Ranxian and brought them out of the valley, walking towards the endless forest. Little you, your poison is really effective. Why can't I see any signs of poisoning on him? Yi Ranxian looked at Yi Chunfeng, who was in high spirits, and asked worriedly. Don't worry, he must have been poisoned. Inu was very confident in her poison. She revealed her cute little canine teeth and said, Rustle, rustle, rustle. The 2 girls followed Yi Chunfeng from afar. After walking for half a day in the forest with complicated terrain, suddenly, an ear-piercing sound of leaves rubbing against each other entered the ears of the 2 girls. The next moment, a huge black demonic bear with a body covered in black fur and sharp teeth scuttled out of a lush thicket. It roared loudly and intercepted the 2 girls. Demonic beast. Looking at the black bear in front of them and feeling the soaring demonic aura emitted from its body, Yi Ranxian were so scared that their faces turned pale. They stood in place and did not dare to move. How? The black bear with blood-red eyes discovered its prey. It opened its bloody mouth and bit towards the 2 screaming girls, wanting to swallow them. At this critical moment, Yi Chunfeng suddenly appeared and kicked the ferocious black bear into the air. It turned into a small dot and disappeared. Mobile reading site, book address, For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. The next time you open the bookshelf, you will be able to see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1353. Alright, don't just stand there. Let's go. Yi Chunfeng looked at the two girls who were dumbfounded and in a daze. He smiled and turned to walk out of the endless forest. Little you, do you think he was poisoned? If he was poisoned, how could he send the demonic bear flying with a kick? Yi Ranchuan's throat rolled. She looked at Yi Chunfeng's tall figure and transmitted her voice. I don't know either. And Yu shook her head. Her heart was in a mess. I think he might not have any ulterior motives. Otherwise, with his strength, we wouldn't have any chance to resist. Yi Ranxian transmitted her voice. Let's hope so. And Yu sighed softly. She quickened her steps and followed closely behind Yi Chunfeng. They shuttled through the endless forest and finally walked out of the endless forest where demonic beasts roamed. After leaving the endless forest, the two ladies heaved a sigh of relief. However, when they thought of the man in the Kylan robe whose life and death were unknown, they still revealed a sad and worried expression. Princess, Miss, you finally came out. Where are the state preceptor and the others? Why didn't they come out with you? Seeing Yi Ranxian and Yi Chanqian walking out of the endless forest, the guards of the kingdom of Zijin, who were guarding outside the endless forest, rushed over. A beautiful woman wearing a gorgeous long dress asked with concern. Uncle Huatian and the others got into trouble while protecting us. Yi Ranxian bit her lips tightly and explained the situation simply. Your Uncle Huatian should be able to come out alive. Yi Chunfeng said slowly. The eyes of the real Yi Ranxian dual lit up as they looked at Yi Chunfeng. If he was unlucky, then it would be hard to say. Let's go and take a look at the Zijin kingdom. Although Yi Chunfeng wasn't related to the Yi clan by blood, he grew up in the Zijin kingdom after all. He had some feelings for the Zijin kingdom. He really wanted to go back and take a look at his old friends. Who are you? The beautiful lady looked at the unfamiliar face of Yi Chunfeng and asked softly. Yi Ziling's friend Yi Chunfeng replied indifferently. Uncle, are you one of my mother's pursuers? Yi Ranxian suddenly thought of a possibility. She blinked her big eyes and asked. No, your mother is not my type. Yi Chunfeng was stunned and shook his head. Yi Chunfeng said as he rolled his eyes at Yi Chunfeng. My mother is so beautiful. Who doesn't like Yi Chunfeng? The Qilin-robed man had an extremely high status in the Zijin kingdom. In order to ensure his safety, the beautiful woman had sent many people to search for him in the endless forest. As for the remaining people, they escorted Yi Ranxian and Yi Xian back to the Zijin kingdom. Why is this violet gold imperial city so bleak? After traveling for more than a day, Yi Chunfeng's group returned to the violet gold imperial city. Riding on a tall and sturdy horse, Yi Chunfeng gazed at the violet gold imperial city from afar. He discovered that after nearly 30 years, not only did the violet gold imperial city not change much, it even exuded an air of desolation. When they were near the city gate, dozens of war horses galloped out of the violet gold imperial city and rushed towards Yi Chunfeng's group at an extremely fast speed. Yi Ranxian and Ying Yu, who were sitting in the carriage, revealed excited expressions as they looked at the extremely beautiful woman who was wearing a tight black martial arts suit that outlined her voluptuous body. Her long and slender legs clamped tightly onto the warhorse. Her long black hair danced in the wind, and her facial features were exquisite. It's sister is here to pick us up. Looking at the valiant and beautiful woman, the two girls finally felt relieved. Yu said excitedly, Greetings to the eldest princess. Looking at the beautiful woman who was riding her horse over, the beautiful woman and the others dismounted and knelt down to greet her. The beautiful woman said with a pleasant voice. She glanced at Yi Chunfeng, who was riding a white horse and resting with his eyes closed. Then she shifted her gaze to Ying Yu and said with some blame, Little you, Ran Xian, you too are too willful. You almost implicated the state preceptor. Fortunately, the state preceptor was saved by a master. Otherwise, father would not forgive you. Uncle Huatian is fine. Yi Ran Xian and Ing Yu revealed an excited expression. Well, Protector Jin's spiritual bird informed me that they have found the state preceptor. The beautiful woman nodded and looked at the unfamiliar face of Yi Chunfeng. She said, Little you, Ran Xian, who is he? He should be my mother's pursuer and our savior. Without him, I'm afraid we can't walk out of the endless forest, Yi Ran Xian said. Little girl, don't talk nonsense. I have never pursued your mother. Yi Chunfeng opened his eyes and said in a somewhat speechless manner, Many thanks for your grace in saving us. Our purple gold imperial family will definitely reward you greatly, the beautiful woman said gratefully as she sized up Yi Chunfeng. There is no need to thank me. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and looked at the purple crystal around the beautiful woman's neck. He was lost in his memories. This purple crystal was given by him to Qian Daobai to nourish his injured soul. It was definitely the top treasure in the mortal countries. Hey, look at her again and you won't be able to pull your eyes out. My sister is the #1 beauty in the violet gold imperial city. There are at least 8,000 pursuers. You have no hope. And you saw Yi Chunfeng staring at the beautiful woman. She wrinkled her little nose and warned loudly. You think too much. Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, If I'm not wrong, the purple crystal around your neck was given to you by Mansion Master Qian. You know my master? The beautiful woman asked in surprise. There was a subtle change in the way she looked at Yi Chunfeng. So you are Mansion Master Qian's disciple. Yi Chunfeng smiled and didn't say much. He rode the white horse to the violet gold imperial city. When the group just entered the violet gold imperial city, Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly. His powerful soul sensed 6 war horses running wildly on the wide street. The passers-by were so scared that they all dodged. The orderly street suddenly became chaotic. Mo, I've been looking for you for a long time. Why are you always hiding from me? 6 war horses blocked Yi Chunfeng's group. A handsome young man wearing luxurious dark golden robes looked at the beautiful woman with a fervent gaze. However, due to excessive debauchery, his complexion was slightly pale. I've been busy recently. The beautiful woman hid the disgust in her eyes and said indifferently, Mo, are you free today? How about having a meal with me? The man in the gorgeous robe invited, We haven't had a meal together for a long time. Naylan Cheng, stop pestering my sister. My sister already has a sweetheart. Ing Yu's black eyes turned and looked at the mysterious Yi Chunfeng. She suddenly opened her mouth and said, Who is her sweetheart? Naylan Cheng's face darkened and changed instantly. Cold light shot out from his eyes and he asked in a cold voice. Yes, it's him. Looking at Naylan Cheng's gloomy eyes, Ing Yu panicked. She bit her lips and pointed at Yi Chunfeng. Yi Chunfeng didn't expect that Ing Yu would use him as a shield. He frowned slightly and showed annoyance. Kill him for me. Killing intent flashed in Naylan Cheng's eyes. He didn't give Yi Chunfeng a chance to explain and ordered loudly. It was as if human lives were nothing in his eyes. Wait a minute. The beautiful woman didn't expect Naylan Cheng to be so overbearing. He actually wanted to kill Yi Chunfeng because of Ing Yu's words. Her expression changed slightly and she wanted to stop him. But the Naylan family's experts were too fast. They jumped into the air and merged with their soul beasts to attack Yi Chunfeng, who was riding on the white horse. Suddenly, Yi Chunfeng's sharp eyes swept across the Naylan family's experts. The soul power in his mind erupted, forming a strong dizzying force that blasted into the bodies of the 5 people. Pooh pooh pooh, the 5 Naylan family's experts, who leaped into the air, suddenly turned into 5 clouds of blood mist and spread in the air. This strange scene shocked everyone present. The whole street was silent. Mobile reading home, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1354. Who are you? Seeing Yi Chunfeng kill 5 of his subordinates with just one look, Nailan Cheng was scared stiff. He couldn't hide the fear in his eyes, and his body started to tremble uncontrollably. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. A dead man doesn't need to know who I am, Yi Chunfeng said coldly. He gave the death sentence to Nailan Cheng for provoking him. Please be merciful. When the beautiful woman saw Yi Chunfeng was going to kill Nailan Cheng, she quickly stood in front of him and tried to stop him. Although she hated Nailan Cheng, the Nailan clan's overall strength was terrifying. They also had a close relationship with the newly risen third-grade sect, the Thousand Shaman sect. If Nailan Cheng died, it would bring endless trouble to the purple-gold imperial family. You can't save him. Yi Chunfeng wasn't moved by the beauty's devastatingly beautiful face. With a thought, a sword Dao pattern flew out from his body and brushed past the beauty's white and tender earlobe. It flew towards Nailan Cheng, who was wide-eyed and petrified. Nailan Cheng's head exploded and ended his life. Do you know the consequences of killing him? The beautiful woman didn't expect Yi Chunfeng to be so bold. He ignored her and killed Nailan Cheng in front of everyone. She was so angry that her voice trembled. What were the consequences of killing an ant? Yi Chunfeng said coldly, also, I don't like being used as a shield. I will let it go this time because of Prefecture Lord Qian. If there is a next time, no one will be able to save her. After speaking, Yi Chunfeng rode away on his white horse. Hateful, what a hateful guy. Yu knew that Yi Chunfeng's words were directed at her. She was so angry that her face turned red. However, after seeing Yi Chunfeng's ruthless methods, she felt that Yi Chunfeng wasn't just trying to scare her. Let's go back to the palace. I need to report today's incident to my father, master, and the others. We need to prepare for the Nailan clan's revenge. Sensing the seriousness of the situation, the beautiful woman immediately ordered people to clean up the bloodstains on the street. She brought Yu and the others back to the palace in a hurry. More than 20 years had passed, and the Yi clan was still the same. Based on his memories, he arrived at the Yi family's old residence that had basically maintained its original appearance. Many sealed memories flashed through Yi Chunfeng's mind. He sighed softly and quietly entered the Yi family's old residence. Yes, Purple Spirit is trying to break through to the heavenly beast immortal realm. Flying into the Yi family mansion, Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul immediately locked onto Yi Xiling. At this moment, Yi Xiling was under the protection of a handsome man. She was sitting cross-legged beside a spirit bamboo that was emitting a faint spirit chi. She was absorbing the spirit chi of the spirit bamboo to mutate her spirit beast and break through to the heavenly beast immortal realm. Puff puff, the red-faced Yi Xiling's chest swelled, and she spat out a large amount of blood. Her face was deathly pale without a trace of blood. Violet Spirit, are you all right? Seeing that Yi Xiling had failed to break through to the heavenly beast immortal realm, the handsome man's heart tightened. He immediately went up to her and wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. He fed her a pill and asked with concern. Sigh, I failed again. Perhaps my talent is too poor and I can't even touch the heavenly beast immortal realm. Yi Xiling sighed softly and said with a sad expression. Is this the Yi Xiling I know? Can't even bear this little setback? Suddenly, a gentle voice sounded from outside the bamboo forest. Wearing a white martial arts suit, Yi Chunfeng appeared in front of Yi Xiling like a ghost. Yi Chunfeng. Seeing Yi Chunfeng appear in front of her, Yi Xiling was stunned. She felt like she was in a dream. The handsome man who was about to get angry also fell into a daze when he heard Yi Xiling say his name. He stared at Yi Chunfeng in a daze, his eyes full of awe. What? You don't recognize me? Looking at the dumbfounded Yi Xiling, Yi Chunfeng smiled and said softly. Chunfeng, you're back. Coming back to her senses, Yi Xiling was so emotional that she couldn't speak. tears kept welling up in her eyes. I happened to pass by the forbidden imperial city, so I came to see you. Yi Chunfeng smiled and looked at the handsome man. You must be Xiling's husband. You're indeed a talent. Xiling has good taste. Yi Tengtao greets Senior Yi. My master is Qian Daobai and he often talks about Senior's achievements. Yi Chunfeng was a legend in the kingdom of Zijin and the Heavenly Fire Martial House. Facing his idol, Yi Tengtao couldn't help but feel reserve. He didn't know how to address him. Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, Since you're Xiling's husband and Martial House Master Qian's disciple, just call me by my name like Xiling. Yi Tengtao didn't dare to. Qingfeng, come with me to see Grandpa and the others. If they know you're back, they'll be overjoyed. Yi Xiling recovered her lively attitude and pulled Yi Chunfeng's arm excitedly. No rush, I'll help you raise your cultivation first. As he spoke, Yi Chunfeng took out a white jade bottle and poured out 2 milky white low-grade Dao cores that emitted a strong medicinal fragrance. Qingfeng, what level are these pills? Yi Xiling's heart trembled as she felt the medicinal power and Dao intent in the 2 low-grade Dao pills. Her eyes widened as she asked in surprise. These are 2 low-grade Dao pills. They should be enough for you to break through to the Xian Beast Master Realm, Yi Chunfeng said. Low-grade Dao pills, high-grade Dao pills were hard to find even in the kingdom of Zijin, let alone low-grade Dao pills that could only be found in ancient books. Qingfeng, these are too precious. You should keep them for yourself. Yi Xiling's throat rolled. She didn't dare to take the low-grade Dao pills that she thought were priceless. I have plenty of low-grade Dao pills. If it weren't for your low cultivation, I would have used ancient Dao pills to help you build your foundation. Yi Chunfeng said indifferently, Come, take these 2 low-grade Dao pills. I'll help you refine the medicinal power. Okay, then I won't stand on ceremony with you. Yi Xiling didn't stand on ceremony with Yi Chunfeng. She and Yi Tengtao each took the low-grade Dao pills. Yi Xiling and Yi Tengtao's cultivation were too low. They couldn't withstand the medicinal power released by the melting of the low-grade Dao pills. Their meridians swelled to their limits, causing immense pain. Large amounts of blood seeped out of their pores and dyed their clothes red. Clear away all distracting thoughts and refine the medicinal power according to the chants I taught you. Yi Chunfeng extended 2 fingers and tapped Yi Xiling's and Yi Tengtao's backs. He released a powerful will of Dao, suppressing the majestic medicinal power released by the low-grade pills of Dao, and passed a complete heaven-grade soul mantra to them. As Yi Chunfeng taught and explained, Yi Xiling and Yi Tengtao quickly comprehended the heaven-level soul mantra and refined the medicinal power of the low-grade Dao pills in their bodies to increase their strength. In just 10 breaths, Yi Xiling's spiritual beast underwent a qualitative change. It broke through the bottleneck and reached the heavenly beast immortal realm. After another 15 minutes, Yi Xiling and Yi Tengtao broke through again. However, they only refined 1% of the low-grade Dao pill's medicinal power. More than 2 hours later, Yi Chunfeng helped Yi Xiling and Yi Tengtao refine all the medicinal power of the low-grade Dao pills. Just as Yi Chunfeng expected, they both broke through to the first-grade mystic beast ancestor realm. Feeling the boundless soul power in their bodies and their cultivation, Yi Xiling and Yi Tengtao felt like they were in a dream. They were both stunned. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1355. Dad, Mom, I'm back. I have something good for you. A clear voice suddenly broke the silence, waking Yi Xiling and her husband from their stupor. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. The next moment, Yi Ranxian, who was wearing a pink martial arts suit and had a rosy face, dashed to the bamboo garden with 2 blood-red fruits in her hand. She wanted to give them a surprise. Why are you here? When Yi Ranxian saw Yi Chunfeng, who was as tall and straight as a pine tree, Looking at him quietly, he was stunned for a moment before he asked loudly. Ran Xian, don't be rude. Yi Tao was afraid that Yi Ran Xian would offend Yi Qinfeng. His face darkened as he scolded loudly. It's okay, we've known each other for a long time. Yi Qinfeng smiled and looked at the mischievous Yi Ran Xian. Dad, Mom, who is he? Yi Ran Xian blinked her big eyes and looked at the unfamiliar face of Yi Qinfeng and asked curiously. Ran Xian, he is the legend of our Yi family. The Yi Qinfeng that Mom always talks about. Yi Xiling looked at Yi Ran Xian dotingly and said softly. Ah! Yi Xiling cried out in surprise. She didn't expect that the person who had just ridiculed Yingyu was actually her idol. Moreover, she had even collaborated with Yingyu to poison him. You're Chengfeng's uncle? Yi Ran Xian asked in disbelief as she fiercely pinched herself. Qingfeng, you've already met Ran Xian? Yi Xiling asked in astonishment. I happened to pass by the endless forest. When Ran Xian and the others were forcefully plucking the blood-red fruits, I noticed that she looked like you and recognized her. Yi Qinfeng nodded. Yi Xiling's eyes widened at the blood-red fruit. Mom, these 2 blood-red fruits are for you. With these 2 blood-red fruits, you should be able to break through to the heavenly beast immortal realm. Yi Ran Xian spread out her small hands and said happily. Thank you, my good daughter. However, Mom doesn't need the blood-red fruits anymore. I'll leave them all to you, Yi Xiling said dotingly as she gently stroked Yi Ranchuan's head. Mother, could it be that you've already broken through to the heavenly beast immortal realm? The intelligent Yi Ran Xian asked excitedly as he exposed Yi Xiling's arm. Just now, your uncle gave me and your father a pill that allowed us to break through to the first-rank mystic beast ancestor realm. Yi Xiling looked gratefully at Yi Qinfeng. Yi Ran Xian of the mystic beast sect sucked in a breath of air and asked in disbelief. What kind of medicinal pill is this? Why is it so powerful? It was only a low-grade Dao core, Yi Qinfeng said indifferently. A Dao pill is a legendary Dao pill. Uncle Qinfeng, you actually have a legendary Dao pill. Yi Ranchuan's eyes widened as he looked at Yi Qinfeng in disbelief. She could no longer imagine the value of a medicinal pill that could allow her parents to directly break through to the mystic beast ancestor realm. Qingfeng, Ran Xian is my and brother Tao's only child. She's also our hope. Can you? Yi Xiling bit her lips and said embarrassedly. Don't worry, there will be many good things for Ran Xian. Yi Qinfeng smiled slightly and interrupted Yi Xiling's words. He took out a beautiful universe ring and gave it to the excited Yi Ran Xian. Yi Qinfeng's quiet return made Yi Qingchuan and the other upper echelons of the Yi clan extremely excited. However, Yi Qinfeng didn't want to be too high-profile. The news of his return was sealed by the Yi clan. At this moment, the purple gold imperial palace had sunk into a haze because of Nailan Cheng's death. Father, Master, what do you think we should do about this? Nailan Cheng was Nailan Xing's most beloved son and had the possibility of becoming the next patriarch of the Nailan clan. Now that he has died in our purple gold imperial city, I think the Nailan clan will not let this matter rest. The beautiful Ingmo told the news of Nailan Cheng's death to the Emperor of Purple Gold Imperial City, Ingfeng, and Qian Daobai, who had been overseeing the Imperial Palace, said worriedly. Do you think that person made 5 of Nailan Cheng's subordinates explode with just one look? Ingfeng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air after hearing Ingmo's story. Yes, I saw it with my own eyes. Even now, I still can't believe that it's true. Ingmo nodded. Palace Master Qian, what realm do you think that person's strength has reached? Ingfeng pondered and asked. Qian Daobai took a deep breath and said, if what Mo said is true, then that person's strength has reached a level that we can't touch. He is someone we can't afford to offend. How did you meet that person? Ingfeng felt the seriousness of the situation and asked in a low voice. Ran Xian and I met that person in the endless forest. He said that he knew Ranchuan's mother, Yi Xiling, Yingyu said truthfully. Knowing Xiling, could it be that Qingfeng is back? Qian Daobai's eyes lit up as he thought of a possibility. I'll go to the Yi clan now and ask Xiling who that person is. Then I'll have to trouble you, Palace Master Qian, Yingfeng said. Not long after Qian Daobai left the Purple Gold Imperial City, he got the news of Naylan Cheng's death. The furious Naylan clan experts barged into the Purple Gold Imperial Palace. Naylan Clan Master, my Purple Gold Imperial family and your Naylan clan have always minded our own business. What do you want to do by barging into my palace and killing my palace guards? Looking at the palace guards lying in a pool of blood and the arrogant Naylan Xing and the others, Yingfeng was furious and questioned coldly. Yingfeng, stop pretending. Blood debts must be paid with blood. Hand over my son's murderer and Mo otherwise, I'll destroy your Purple Gold Imperial family. Naylan Xing, whose face was gloomy, glared at Yingfeng with his blood-red eyes, which flashed with thick killing intent. Naylan Clan Master, we don't know the identity of your son's murderer and we don't know where he went. Also, Mo has nothing to do with your son's death. Forgive me for not being able to hand her over to you. Although the Naylan Clan Master's overall strength was terrifying, Yingfeng did not back down and replied firmly. Yingfeng, do you really think that I, the Naylan Clan Master, am afraid of your Purple Gold Imperial family? If I can't catch the real murderer and bring Mo away, I will not let this matter rest. Naylan Xing threatened angrily, looking like he was about to attack. My Purple Gold Imperial family can help you find the real murderer, but no one can take Mo away. Yingfeng did not want to fight to the death with the Naylan clan. However, Mo was his most beloved daughter. He would not allow her to be hurt. What if I wanted Mo? A feminine voice resounded. A strange-looking man in black robes appeared beside Naylan Xing. His body was as thin as firewood, and his head was strangely large. His hair was sparse, and his appearance was strange. He turned into an afterimage, and appeared beside Naylan Xing young Master Wu. Seeing the person who came, Yingfeng's expression changed greatly. Mo, who had an elegant temperament and was as beautiful as a fairy, revealed an expression of fear. Her body trembled for some reason. In the 20 years since the destruction of the Heavenly Fire sect, a new sect had risen. Controlled a lot of the Purple Gold Kingdom. This sect was the third-rank sect, Thousand Shaman sect. The skinny man in front of Yingfeng was called Wu Tiangu. He was the son of the Thousand Shaman sect's sect master. He was an extremely vicious person. His methods were extremely cruel and bloody. If Mo fell into his hands, she would definitely suffer a fate worse than death. Yingfeng, my patience is limited. Either you let me take Mo away or you let me kill all of you. Make your choice, Wu Tiangu said arrogantly, forcing the Purple Gold Imperial family into a dead end. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1356. Young Master Wu, my Violet Gold Imperial family has always been loyal to the Thousand Shaman sect. Please let Mo go on account of our loyalty. Facing the Naylan family, Yingfeng still dared to be unyielding. However, facing the Thousand Shaman sect's young master, Wu Tiangu, he couldn't bring himself to be so. What? Do you think I'm not good enough for her? Wu Tiangu's expression sank. An intense killing intent radiated from his skinny body. The killing intent was so strong that everyone present felt suffocated. Young Lord Wu, you are a priceless person. Whoever can serve you is blessed. It's just that not long ago, my father betrothed me to someone else. Mo gently bit her lip, stood up, and spoke in a soft voice. It's fine. Tell me who you're betrothed to. Once I kill him, you'll be free again. Wu Tiangu arrogantly said. My fiancé is the one who killed Naylan Cheng. Thinking of how Yi Chunfeng killed 5 Nalan family experts with a single glance, Ing Mo saw him as her only hope. She braced herself and brought him out. Ing Feng, my son's death is indeed related to you. Today, my Nalan family will definitely wash your violet gold imperial palace with blood and kill that bastard to avenge my son. Nalan Xing was like an enraged lion, his hair standing on end as he roared with killing intent. Tell me where he is. Wu Tiangu's eyes flashed with killing intent as he ordered without any room for resistance. Master has already gone to look for him. I think he'll be here soon. Ing Mo placed all her hopes on Qian Daobai. She prayed that he could find Yi Chunfeng. Otherwise, what awaited the violet gold imperial family was a destructive disaster. I can wait for him to come. However, during this time, shouldn't you serve me first? Wu Tiangu stared at Ing Mo's voluptuous body. A lewd smile appeared on his face. He grabbed at the air, and a large amount of soul force transformed into a shriveled ghost claw that grabbed at Ing Mo's soft body. He forcibly pulled her in front of him and imprisoned her. Young Master Wu, please don't hurt Mo. Seeing that Ing Mo was in danger, Ing Feng panicked and used a pleading tone. Don't worry, how could I bear to harm such a beautiful woman? Wu Tiangu stretched out his skinny, boneless, chicken claw-like hand to lightly stroke Ing Mo's delicate face and said, Come, obediently take off your clothes, let me take a good look at you. If you want to humiliate me, I will immediately kill myself, Ing Mo said in humiliation as he bit his pale lip. If you dare to commit suicide, I'll strip you naked and hang you on the city gates. Then I'll kill everyone from the violet gold imperial family. Wu Tiangu threatened with a cruel smile. You are right, my patience is limited. I'll count to 3. If you don't take off your clothes, don't blame me for killing you. Wu Tiangu spoke with boundless arrogance. The towering killing intent radiating from him shattered Ing Mo's mental defenses bit by bit, causing her to feel despair. Her seductive body trembled even more violently. You won't? Well, I'll start with your father, Wu Tiangu mercilessly said. A demonic wolf emitting a purple glow appeared behind him. Its blood-red eyes stared at the Emperor of Violet Jin, Ing Feng, as if it was staring at its prey. I'll take off my clothes. Facing an undefeatable enemy, Ing Mo was really desperate. In order to protect the violet gold imperial family, she could only sacrifice herself. She stretched out her trembling hands to her back and slowly unbuttoned her clothes, revealing her snow-white and smooth shoulders and sexy collarbones. Sigh. Seeing Ing Mo's clothes slipping off her shoulders, a soft sigh sounded. The next moment, a blurry shadow appeared behind Ing Mo and grabbed her clothes that were about to slip off and her cold hands. It's you. Looking at Yi Chunfeng who suddenly appeared, Ing Mo was stunned for a moment. The tears in her eyes uncontrollably flowed down, dyeing her beautiful face. Her desperate heart also trembled at this moment. Leave it to me, today I will make the decision for you. Beautiful girls could always inexplicably make people have a good impression of them. Looking at Ing Mo's tear-stained beautiful face, Yi Chunfeng felt a trace of pity. He gently unbuttoned her clothes. You are her fiancé. Looking at the strange appearance of Yi Chunfeng, Wu Tiangu showed a trace of seriousness. His eyes flashed with a murderous light as he said in a low voice, I am not her fiancé, but today's matter started because of me. Let me solve it. Yi Chunfeng patted Ing Mo's trembling shoulder and signaled her to go to the side. He looked at Wu Tiangu coldly and said, So you are the murderer of my son. Today I will skin you alive to avenge my son. Nalan Xing roared with a murderous aura. It looked like he was going to skin Yi Chunfeng alive. Whoosh! As soon as Nalan Xing finished his words, a sharp sword Dao pattern flew out from Yi Chunfeng's slightly raised fingertip. Like a flash of light cutting through the sky, it dragged a long sword tail and directly penetrated Nalan Xing's head, killing him on the spot. Who are you? Seeing Yi Chunfeng's finger cut through the space and killed Nalan Xing, a level 3 heavenly beast immortal, Wu Tiangu's face changed slightly. He smelled a strong sense of danger and asked in a low voice, "Pa?" The answer to Wu Tiangu was a slap from Yi Chunfeng. The terrifying palm light directly smashed Wu Tiangu's face and sent him flying. If it wasn't for Yi Chunfeng's intention to spare his life, this slap would have blown Wu Tiangu's head apart. Seeing the high and mighty Wu Tiangu fall to the ground like a dead dog in the blink of an eye, everyone present felt that it was unreal. Sect members were strictly forbidden from interfering with the order of the secular world. Who gave you the guts to extend your tentacles into the Zijin kingdom? Yi Chunfeng looked at Wu Tiangu, whose mouth was bleeding profusely and whose face was filled with fear. He slowly walked over and asked coldly, "This Zijin kingdom is under the jurisdiction of my 1,000 Shaman sect. Moreover, I am only interested in women and have not done anything out of line." Seeing Yi Chunfeng getting closer and closer, Wu Tiangu's face was filled with fear. He braced himself and said, "It seems like your 1,000 Shaman sect did not learn the lesson of the Heavenly Fire sect." Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said coldly, "Now, I will give you a chance to live. Send a message to your 1,000 Shaman sect and ask them to come and save you." What do you want?" Wu Tiangu was really scared. He felt that Yi Chunfeng did not send the 1,000 Shaman sect to Zijin Kingdom for a simple reason. "You talk too much. If you want to live, then do as I say. Otherwise I will kill you," Yi Chunfeng ordered without any room for resistance. Streaks of sword Dao patterns jumped in his palm, as if they would fall and cut Wu Tiangu at any time. I send a message." Wu Tiangu was scared out of his wits by Yi Chunfeng's methods. He trembled as he took out his communication bead and sent a message to his father, the 1,000 Shaman sect leader. He told him what happened in the Zijin kingdom and asked for help. "Congratulations, your life will be saved in a short period of time." Yi Chunfeng smiled faintly. The sword Dao pattern leaping from his palm flew straight down and cut off Wu Tiangu's right hand that was holding onto the communication bead. As Wu Tiangu cried out in pain, Yi Chunfeng controlled the dual polarity ancient heavenly water and froze him into an ice sculpture. "All right, it's your turn now." After freezing Wu Tiangu, Yi Chunfeng turned his gaze towards the Nalan clan's experts who were fleeing in fear, wanting to massacre the purple gold imperial palace. He released the sky-burning sacred flame and melted them all, causing them to disappear from the world. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1357. Many thanks to Senior for saving my life. Ing Feng will never forget it. After seeing Yi Chunfeng's shocking methods, Ing Feng was deeply shocked. He bowed deeply and said gratefully, "Watermark advertisement test, watermark advertisement test. You don't recognize me anymore?" Yi Chunfeng asked softly with a faint smile as he looked at the slightly trembling Ing Feng with a respectful expression. Senior is earlier. Ing Feng felt that Yi Chunfeng looked familiar. However, Yi Chunfeng's strength was too shocking. He was deeply shocked and didn't think too deeply about it. "Your Majesty, how come you don't even remember Yi Chunfeng?" At this time, Qian Daobai hurried back and glanced at the frozen Wu Tiangu before slowly speaking. "Yi Chunfeng." Ing Feng raised his eyebrows and revealed an excited expression. He didn't expect that Yi Chunfeng would return when the purple gold imperial family was in the most dangerous situation. The reason why he could sit on the throne of the purple gold imperial family was because of Yi Chunfeng. It could be said that Yi Chunfeng was his benefactor and his benefactor. So he is Yi Chunfeng. Ing Mo and her sister, who were still in a state of shock, had also grown up hearing about Yi Chunfeng's deeds. When they saw their idol, the two girls' hearts trembled. Among them, Ing Mo felt a strange feeling in her heart. "Let's go to the Golden Palace to talk and wait for the people from the 1,000 Shaman sect to come." Yi Chunfeng looked at the excited Ing Feng and suggested. Qing Feng, we haven't seen each other for more than 20 years. Your strength has already grown to a level that we can't touch. Where have you been all these years? After everyone took their seats in the Golden Palace, Qian Daobai looked at Yi Chunfeng, who was drinking tea in silence. Every action of his seemed to be able to move the heavens and earth. I've been to a lot of places these years. Yi Chunfeng told them about his experiences in the past few years. However, he hid a lot of important information. Is the outside world really so exciting? After hearing Yi Chunfeng's story, a trace of yearning appeared on Ing Mo's beautiful face. The outside world is very exciting and dangerous. It's not suitable for anyone to explore. Yi Chunfeng nodded. Yi Chunfeng, I want to take a look at the outside world. Can you bring me along? Ing Mo lightly bit her lips. She glanced at Yi Chunfeng, who had saved her from a fiery pit, and asked expectantly. The place I'm going to isn't suitable for you, so I can't bring you with me. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and declined tactfully. That's right, Manor Lord Qian. Why does Violet Gold Imperial City seem so bleak after more than 20 years? Yi Chunfeng glanced at the gloomy Ing Mo and changed the topic. Sigh, this is all because of the Thousand Shaman sect and the Nalan family who plundered a large amount of our Zijin Kingdom's resources, weakening us in every possible way. Qian Daobai sighed softly and told them the truth behind the decline of the Zijin Kingdom. The Thousand Shaman sect actually lowered themselves to extort resources from the secular world. They were truly regressing as they lived. There was no need for such a shameless sect to exist anymore. After learning the truth, Yi Chunfeng sentenced the Thousand Shaman sect to death. The night grew darker and darker. Qian Daobai urged Yi Chunfeng to stay in the palace's courtyard, waiting for the arrival of the Thousand Shaman sect's experts. While drinking and chatting with Qian Daobai under the moonlight, Yi Chunfeng gave Qian Daobai a universe ring. It contained a large amount of pills and heaven artifacts. If used properly, it would be enough for Qian Daobai to become a reverse beast king in his lifetime. The next morning, when the sky was just starting to turn dark, several powerful auras appeared in the sky above the palace, breaking the silence. Ing Feng, how dare you hire experts to deal with my Thousand Shaman sect and harm my son? Today, I'll definitely destroy your Zijin royal family. A skinny man with slightly white hair, who looked like a skeleton, stood on a ferocious-looking black eagle and looked down at the purple-gold imperial palace. When he discovered Wu Tiangu, who had been frozen into an ice sculpture, he roared with murderous intent. Sect leader Wu, all these years, my Zijin royal family has been loyal to the Thousand Shaman sect, but what we got in return was your suppression. This time, if it wasn't for someone's help, my Zijin royal family would have been overturned by your son. Because of Yi Chunfeng's support, Ing Feng became much more powerful. He walked out of the Golden Palace with the aura of a king. For the first time, he went against the Thousand Shaman sect's sect leader Wu Xinfeng. Ing Feng, it seems like the person you invited has given you a lot of courage, allowing you to talk back to me. Wu Xinfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent as he said, but an ant will always be an ant. Today, I will let you know how stupid it is to go against my Thousand Shaman sect. As he spoke, Wu Xinfeng pointed out 2 fingers. 2 sharp finger lights shot towards Ing Feng's legs, wanting to pierce through his legs and slowly torture him to death. However, when the finger lights were about to touch Ing Feng's body, they strangely disappeared, as if they didn't exist at all. Who is it? Come out. Seeing the 2 finger lights disappear, Wu Xinfeng's expression changed slightly. He took out an earth-grade long saber and shouted as if he was facing a great enemy. It seemed like the warning of the destruction of the Heavenly Fire sect was not enough. Yi Chunfeng stepped on the void and appeared in front of the Thousand Shaman sect's experts who were riding on demonic beasts. Void, flying in the void, an emperor-level expert. Seeing Yi Chunfeng step on the void, Wu Xinfeng and the other Thousand Shaman sect's experts were scared silly. Their arrogance was completely replaced by fear. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that the Zijin Kingdom would invite an emperor-level expert to support them. Senior, this time, it's all my 1,000 shaman sect's fault. Please be magnanimous and forgive us. We promise that we won't find trouble with the Zijin Kingdom in the future. Wu Xinfeng knew how terrifying an emperor-level expert was. Seeing Yi Chunfeng getting closer and closer, he felt like he was facing the god of death. He quickly apologized. There was no future. Yi Chunfeng shook his head. The soul force in his mind exploded, forming a terrifying dizziness. It blasted into Wu Xinfeng's soul sea, directly destroying his soul and shattering his physical body. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng continued to use the dizziness technique. In just 3 breaths' time, the 1,000 shaman sects experts and demonic beasts that came to wash the Zijin Kingdom with blood exploded. A thick mist of blood drifted with the wind, making everyone feel that it was unreal. Witnessing Yi Chunfeng's method of killing Wu Xinfeng and the others without batting an eyelid, Ying Feng and the others were deeply shocked. Many of them even knelt on the ground, worshipping him. Sigh, after all, we're not from the same world. Ying Mo was deeply impressed by Yi Chunfeng's strength. He sighed softly, and the little fantasy in his heart disappeared. After dealing with the 1,000 shaman sect, Yi Chunfeng didn't leave immediately. He stayed in the Zijin Kingdom for a while, helping Qian Daobai, Lin Fuxin, and the others increase their strength. Ying Mo relied on her relationship with Qian Daobai to stay by Yi Chunfeng's side, asking him questions about cultivation. Yi Chunfeng had a good impression of the beautiful and intelligent Ying Mo. He gave her a lot of opportunities and used a supreme-grade heaven pellet to help her build her foundation, laying a good foundation for her cultivation. All right, since everyone's strength has increased, I can rest assured. I will ask the Misty Mountain to restrict the sects of the Northern Spirit region, preventing them from interfering with the secular world. I hope that when I return, I can see the Zijin Kingdom's glory. 1 month later, Yi Chunfeng bid farewell to Qian Daobai, Ying Feng, and the others. He drove the spirit boat across the vast land, crossing the 9 chasm and returning to the core of the Duhan continent. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1358. Phew, I'm finally back. Yi Chunfeng stood on the speeding spirit boat and looked at the vast expanse of the central world, pondering where he should go next. Watermark advertisement test sigh. Since I promised Shui Hanyan, I'll go to Octahead Kingdom. After thinking for a while, Yi Chunfeng sighed softly and decided to go to Octahead Kingdom to propose marriage and solve Shui Hanyan's crisis first. After making the decision, Yi Chunfeng took out the topographic map of the central world and locked onto the position of Octahead Kingdom. He steered the spirit boat and flew there. When the spirit boat flew to the edge of Octahead Kingdom, above a mountain range, Yi Chunfeng's sharp senses detected an abnormality. A familiar aura was being chased by 4 Nirvana powerhouses. Black Tortoise, it's actually him. After sensing several times, Yi Chunfeng confirmed that the person being chased was the forthright Black Tortoise whom he met outside Celestial Street. Thinking of Black Tortoise's protection, Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate. He put away the spirit boat, summoned the Goldwing Feather, and flew toward Black Tortoise. At this time, Black Tortoise was seriously injured. One of his arms was hanging in front of him, and his strong body was covered with blood. A large amount of blood was flowing out of his body and sprinkling in the forest. Black Tortoise, accept your death obediently. A short black-clothed old man with yellow hair at the peak of the rebirth realm roared explosively as he controlled a battle axe that was growing larger and larger, and he slashed it towards the heavily injured Black Tortoise with the intention of slashing Black Tortoise into 2 and killing him on the spot. In the face of the Gu Dao treasure-level heavens raising battle axe, the seriously injured black tortoise could not dodge. He could only take a deep breath and block with all his strength with the ashen blood soul hook blade. Puff! Black Tortoise's body trembled and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He fell to the ground like a meteorite, smashing a big hole in the ground. After severely injuring the black tortoise with one blow, the black-robed old man and the other 3 Nirvana experts were about to follow up with another attack. One after another, they launched deadly attacks at the black tortoise. They wanted to kill him in one fell swoop and seize his treasures. Suddenly, a blurry figure appeared before the heavily injured black tortoise that had fallen to the ground. A sword light that tore open space and seemed like a spatial rift traversed through space and resisted the ultimate moves executed by the 4 Rebirth Realm experts. In the next moment, the holy thunder of purple beginnings gushed out of Yi Qinfeng's body like dancing electric snakes, sealing off the void and forcing the 4 Nirvana mighty figures to retreat. "Who are you?" The black-robed old man's expression changed slightly when he saw the blurry figure with unfathomable strength shrouded within the purple origin holy lightning. "Brother Xuanwu, are you all right?" Yi Qinfeng ignored the black-robed old man's words. He withdrew the purple beginnings lightning and looked at the heavily injured and bleeding black tortoise. "It's you!" Looking at Yi Qinfeng's familiar face, the black tortoise was startled and revealed a surprised expression. He never thought that Yi Qinfeng would appear to save him at his most dangerous moment. "Brother Xuanwu, quickly consume this pill. Leave the 4 of them to me. I will help you take revenge." Yi Qinfeng took out a great Dao pill and gave it to the black tortoise. "Be careful, the 4 of them are from the Kirin Kingdom and are experts in joint attack. If they join forces, they can fight against the Nirvana mighty figures." Yi Qinfeng's sword strike had shocked the black tortoise. He quickly consumed the great Dao pill that Yi Qinfeng gave him and solemnly exhorted, "Don't worry, they can't do anything to me." As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng ignited his fiend god bloodline. His entire body continued to grow, and his crimson body surged with power. Dense ripples appeared in the air around his body. "Today's matter has nothing to do with you. Do you really want to get involved in this mess?" Sensing the aura emanating from Yi Qinfeng's fiend god body, the black-robed old man and the others sensed a trace of danger. They warned him coldly, "Cosmic sword formation, destroy." Yi Qinfeng didn't waste time talking nonsense with the black-robed old man. With a thought, 108 cosmic swords flew out of his body. With an ear-piercing sound of friction, they attacked the black-robed old man and the others. Forming a formation sensing the terror of the cosmic sword formation, a light diagram appeared on the black-robed old man's body. The 4 of them stood at the 4 corners of the light diagram. Borrowing the power of the diagram, they condensed a Dao intent millstone. It crushed the space and blocked the attack of the cosmic sword formation. Chi, the 108 cosmic swords collided with the Dao intent millstone in the void. In an instant, a destructive power erupted, forming a boundless wind and waves that swept in all directions. The 4 of them were in the formation diagram. The power of the Dao intent millstone was extremely great, surpassing the attack of the ordinary Nirvana mighty figures. However, the cosmic sword formation had been upgraded and integrated with 8 low-grade holy sword. Its power was even greater than that of an ordinary mid-grade holy treasure. It was not something that the 4 of them could resist. A series of dense explosions rang out as the Dao Will millstone that the 4 of them had condensed shattered. Numerous Qiankuan swords shot towards the 4 of them like a hot knife through butter, forcing them to continuously execute fierce killing moves and mobilize powerful ancient Taoist treasures to defend themselves. Cosmic sword formation, cosmic strike. When the 4 of them joined forces to resist the attack of the Cosmos sword formation, Yi Qinfeng's mind moved, and the 108 Cosmos swords merged together, transforming into a huge Cosmos sword that was hundreds of feet long, intertwined with more than 150 million pounds of strength and the bronze sword soul. It rolled in the void and slashed toward the four Nirvana realm mortal realm powerhouses of the Qilin divine nation, whose faces changed drastically. Bang! Bang! Under the attack of the invincible sword power of the cosmic sword, the Gu Dao treasure was shattered one by one. Even the formation diagram that was suspended above the four of them had a huge crack. The terrifying power of the sword Dao poured down like a torrential tide, crazily bombarding the four of them. It broke through their defense and slashed them to the ground from midair, causing them to suffer heavy injuries. Wait, we are from the royal family of the Kirin kingdom. If you dare to, the black-robed man and the others did not expect Yi Qinfeng's strength to be so terrifying. The four of them could not withstand a single blow from him. They hurriedly brought out their identities and backgrounds to put pressure on Yi Qinfeng. It's useless to mention anyone. No one can save you today. Yi Qinfeng already had a deep grudge with the Qilin divine kingdom. Towards his enemies, he showed no mercy. He interrupted the black-clothed old man and condensed a 5-element spirit-grade Dao diagram. He fused it into the universe sword diagram, increasing the power of the universe sword diagram as he continued to attack. Spiritual level Dao diagram. Seeing that the Dao diagram condensed by Yi Qinfeng had reached the spiritual level realm, the black-robed old man and the others were scared out of their wit. They gave up resisting and wanted to escape. However, the attack speed of the cosmic sword formation was too fast. The 108 cosmic swords rotated at an extremely fast speed, forming a sword tornado that swept through heaven and earth. It engulfed the four of them and strangled them crazily. 3 heads and 6 arms at the moment of life and death. The four of them burned their powerful Kirin bloodline and transformed into the strongest ultimate form of 3 heads and 6 arms. They held 6 Dao weapons in their hands and wanted to tear apart the sword tornado and escape. However, in the face of the cosmic sword formation that was comparable to the power of a middle-grade holy treasure, the attacks of the four of them became pale and powerless. They could not break through the sword tornado and escape at all. With a series of screams, the 4 masters of the Kirin kingdom were crushed by the sword tornado. Even their Dao treasures were turned into pieces and disappeared between heaven and earth. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1359. Fengchen, how did your strength grow so fast? The black tortoise opened his eyes wide as he watched the scene of Yi Qinfeng killing the 4 Qilin divine nations' Nirvana realm powerhouses like the autumn wind chopping leaves. A huge wave surged in his heart. He couldn't imagine what Yi Qinfeng had experienced in the past 2 years. How did his strength improve so much? Did Brother Black Tortoise forget my identity? Yi Qinfeng smiled as he looked at the dumbfounded black tortoise. Saint Master was indeed the most terrifying existence in this world. Thinking that Yi Qinfeng was one of the most powerful Saint Masters in the central world, Black Tortoise's eyes lit up. Right, Brother Black Tortoise, how did you get chased by the Nirvana experts of the Kirin kingdom? Yi Qinfeng asked in a low voice. Do you have a grudge against them? I have no grievance nor enmity with the 4 of them. Xuanwu sighed softly and said, This is all because I failed to break through to the Nirvana Earth realm. Seeing that I was heavily injured by the Tai Ching World Extermination Thunder Mountain, the 4 of them wanted to kill me and rob me, to seize the precious treasures in my possession. If I did not meet you, I am afraid it would be difficult for me to escape from their evil hands. So it was because of this. They really deserved to be killed. Yi Qinfeng took away the 4 people's belongings and said, Brother Black Tortoise, let's find a safe place to talk. Okay. Black Tortoise nodded and followed Yi Qinfeng away from the forest filled with the thick smell of blood. They flew to a quiet valley in the depths of the forest. Brother Black Tortoise, why did you want to break through Nirvana here? Is there no one to protect you? Breaking through nirvana is no small matter. When ordinary people try to break through, they definitely have a master to protect them. Sigh, this time I was careless. I thought that after cultivating to the peak of nirvana, with the help of the 2 golden lotus petals, I could easily break through nirvana. But the power of the Tai Ching World Extermination Thunder Mountain was beyond my imagination. I almost used up all my trump cards but still couldn't resist. In the end, I failed to break through. Black Tortoise sighed softly. Don't worry, you can always try again if you fail. With this experience, I think Brother Black Tortoise will definitely be able to break through nirvana next time. Yi Chunfeng comforted the desolate Black Tortoise. Fengchen, do you still have more golden flaming lotuses? The Black Tortoise asked somewhat embarrassedly. Yes, Yi Chunfeng had a good impression of the outspoken Black Tortoise, and wanted to befriend him. Moreover, he had 15 golden petal fire lotuses on him, so he generously took out 2 golden petal fire lotuses. Fengchen, name a price. I want these 2 golden flaming lotuses. Black Tortoise gritted his teeth and said as he looked at the 2 golden fire lotuses with a burning gaze. Brother Xianwu, do you have any middle-grade heaven crystals? After the battle with Ming Shifang in the Azure Heaven region, the sword puppet's energy was almost depleted. Yi Chunfeng urgently needed mid-grade heaven crystals to replenish the sword puppet's energy. I used to have 5 mid-grade heaven crystals, but I used them all when I was defending against the Tai Ching world-destroying Thunder Mountain in the Tai Ching Heaven. The Black Tortoise shook his head and said, How about other things? How about this? I'll give these 2 golden petal fire lotuses to you. If you can get more mid-grade heaven crystals in the future, you can give them to me. Yi Chunfeng didn't try to extort the Black Tortoise and said generously, Fengchen, you're my friend for sure. The Black Tortoise said gratefully, Whether you succeed or not, I'll repay you. Brother Xianwu, I see that your injuries are very serious. These 2 pills are for you. They'll be good for your injuries. Yi Chunfeng also gave him 2 extremely valuable Great Tao pills. Thank you very much. The Black Tortoise didn't stand on ceremony with Yi Chunfeng. He sealed the 2 golden petal fire lotuses in a jade box and swallowed the 2 Great Tao pills. He quickly refined the powerful medicinal power and healed his injuries. After about 3 days, the Black Tortoise refined the medicinal power of the 2 Great Tao pills and basically healed his injuries. He came to the highest peak of the mountain range with Yi Chunfeng. He was ready to challenge the Tai Ching world-destroying Thunder Mountain in the Tai Ching Heaven again and break through to nirvana. Brother Xianwu, you can challenge the Tai Ching world-destroying Thunder Mountain and break through to nirvana. I'll protect you and guard this place. Yi Chunfeng looked at the Black Tortoise who recovered from his injuries and was in high spirit. He once again gave him 2 valuable ancient Tao pills in case of emergency. Fengchen, I'll never forget your kindness. I hope the heavens will give me a chance to repay you. The Black Tortoise held the ancient Tao pills that Yi Chunfeng gave him tightly and said gratefully. After that, the Black Tortoise adjusted his internal energy. He held the quasi-saint treasure blue blood soul hooking blade and flew into the sky, disappearing into the vast sea of clouds. Lei Yi, I don't know if you're interested in challenging the world power of Lihan Heaven and breaking through to Nirvana Heavenly Realm. When the Black Tortoise entered the Tai Ching Heaven, Yi Chunfeng summoned Lei Yi, who had already cultivated to the peak of Nirvana, and asked, The world power of Lihan Heaven is very terrifying. With my current strength and foundation, I'm afraid I only have a 30% chance of success. Although Lei Yi's strength was terrifying, when he thought of the difficulty of challenging the world power of Lihan Heaven, he still lacked confidence. What if I give you 2 fire lotus cores of the golden petals fire lotus? Yi Chunfeng moved his mind and took out 2 invaluable fire lotus cores that could restrain the world power of Lihan Heaven, and asked, Fire lotus cores, young Master Yi, you actually have such a sacred object? Lei Yi raised his eyebrows and revealed a deep excitement. If he had 2 fire lotus cores, He felt that he had at least a 60% chance of breaking through to Nirvana heavenly realm. What if I give you a life spirit with the power to bring the dead back to life? Lei Yi was a very important combat force for Yi Chunfeng. If he could break through to Nirvana heavenly realm, he would be of great help to Yi Chunfeng. Therefore, Yi Chunfeng was not stingy and took out a life spirit. Young Master Yi, whether I succeed or not, I want to try. Please help me. Looking at the 3 treasures that Yi Chunfeng took out, Lei Yi's eyes lit up. He knew that this was a rare opportunity. If he missed it, it would be difficult for him to take this last step for the rest of his life. Well, I hope you won't let me down. Yi Chunfeng gave 2 fire lotus cores and a life spirit that were more valuable than low-grade sacred elixirs to Lei Yi and entrusted him with the task. About 2 hours later, Lei Yi adjusted himself to his best state. He tore through layers of space and entered the highest level of the central world, Lihan Heaven. The challenge was extremely terrifying. One of the most terrifying forces in the Duhan continent, the World Force, was to break through to Nirvana heavenly realm. While Black Tortoise Lei Yi and Black Tortoise Lei Yi were challenging the world-destroying divine punishment to reach a higher realm, Yi Chunfeng sat cross-legged on the summit of a mountain. He swallowed a drop of heavenly soul liquid and cultivated the undying soul art. He formed a soul millstone and forcefully grinded his soul, refining it to the deepest level and increasing its realm. Time passed day by day. When Yi Chunfeng endured the inhuman pain and controlled the soul millstone to refine his soul and absorb an entire drop of heavenly soul liquid, his strengthened soul sensed that Lei Yi had beaten the black tortoise and dragged his heavily injured body back to the mountain peak. Yi Chunfeng revealed a satisfied smile as he looked at Lei Yi, who was covered in wounds and exposed white bones. However, he was in high spirits and his aura was more than 10 times stronger than before. Thank you, young Master Yi. Lei Yi bowed deeply to Yi Chunfeng and said gratefully. Without Yi Chunfeng, he wouldn't have been able to break through to Nirvana heavenly realm under the extremely dangerous baptism of the world force and fulfill his final dream. Lei Yi, stay by my side and help me. If I ascend to the heaven region one day, I will restore your freedom. Yi Chunfeng promised as he looked at the excited Lei Yi, who seemed to have undergone a complete transformation. Thank you, young Master Yi. Lei Yi knelt on the ground and was completely convinced. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1360. Not long after Lei Yi broke through to the Nirvana heavenly realm in Lihan Heaven, Xuanwu's aura passed through the sea of clouds and appeared above the silent mountain peak. Watermark advertisement test. Although the black tortoise's injuries were more severe than Lei Yi's, and there was not a single piece of flesh on its strong body that was undamaged, and one of its arms was even shattered by the lightning mountain, Yi Chunfeng felt that the black tortoise's aura had undergone a tremendous change, and its strength had increased by more than 10 times. Obviously, he had successfully broken through to Nirvana after challenging the Great Pure One's World Annihilation Thunder Mountain for the 2nd time. Brother Xuanwu, congratulations on breaking through to Nirvana. Yi Chunfeng looked at Xuanwu, who was almost paralyzed on the mountain peak, and quickly fed him a pill. Fengchen, thank you for the golden flaming lotus and ancient path pill you gave me. Without them, I definitely wouldn't have been able to break through to Nirvana. Xuanwu, whose hair was disheveled and covered in wounds, said gratefully. About 5 days later, Xuanwu breathed out a mouthful of turbid air and woke up while consolidating his realm. His arm, which was shattered by the Thunder Mountain, was also repaired by the vigorous life force in his body. This great pure sky is too scary. If I had another chance, I'm afraid I wouldn't have the courage to challenge it. Thinking back to the process of being baptized by the Great Pure One's World Annihilation Thunder Mountain and breaking through to Nirvana, he still felt lingering fear. If it wasn't for the golden flaming lotus being the nemesis of the Great Pure One's world annihilation Thunder Mountain and his martial heart being abnormally strong, he probably would have died in the Great Pure Sky. No matter what, you succeeded and became a powerful being in Nirvana, Yi Chunfeng said with a smile. Feng Chen, I don't know how to repay your kindness to me, Xuanwu said gratefully from the bottom of his heart. If he hadn't met Yi Chunfeng, not to mention breaking through to Nirvana, he might have been killed by the people of the Kirin Kingdom. Brother Xuanwu is too polite. Maybe I really will need your help in the future, Yi Chunfeng said with a smile. Feng Chen, why don't you come back to Burial Valley with me? My eldest brother, second brother, and third sister should have heaven crystals. I'll go get them for you, Xuanwu said hesitantly. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, No, I'll go to Burial Valley to find you when I have the chance. Feng Chen, I actually have another matter to ask you to go to Burial Valley, the Black Tortoise said with some embarrassment. What happened? Yi Chunfeng asked. I want to ask you to refine a pill for my big brother to heal his injuries. Your brother is? I won't hide it from you. My big brother is one of the top 10 wandering cultivators in the Central World, Tianji. Black Tortoise said proudly. Tianji. Yi Chunfeng knew a little about the top 10 individual cultivators in the Central World. He knew that Tianji was the most mysterious and low-key one among the top 10 individual cultivators. However, Tianji's strength was extremely terrifying. It was rumored that Tianji's strength was even above that of the Tao addict. He could squeeze into the top 3 of the top 10 individual cultivators. A few years ago, my elder brother entered Lihan Heaven and used the power of the world to temper his body and further stimulate his potential. When he reached the limit of the Nirvana heavenly realm, his foundation was injured by the power of the world, leaving behind a hidden injury that is difficult to heal. If he wants to recover, he must use a lower-grade sacred elixir called the Heaven Reversal Elixir to heal his injury. However, there are too few people in the Central World who have the ability to refine sacred pills, so I want to ask for your help. Black Tortoise understood the reason. Have you collected the spiritual materials to refine the Heaven Reversal Elixir? Yi Chunfeng pondered for a moment and asked. Black Tortoise nodded and said, The 4 of us have spent several years to collect the spiritual materials to refine the Heaven Reversal Elixir. Well, if you trust me, I will go with you to Zongtian Valley to help your big brother refine the Heaven Reversal Elixir. However, it is extremely difficult to refine a lower-grade sacred elixir. I am only 50% sure. Yi Chunfeng had learned from the Tao addict that Tianji and Jiutian Divine Kingdom were mortal enemies. He wanted to do him a favor and finally agreed. Thank you. Whether you succeed or not, we will thank you, Black Tortoise said gratefully. Let's go to Zongtian Valley. With that, Yi Chunfeng summoned the spirit boat. Under the guidance of Black Tortoise, they flew in the direction of Zongtian Valley. The Sky Burial Valley was not well known in the Central World, and not many people knew of its existence. However, those who knew of its existence were extremely fearful of it. Zongtian Valley had a total of 4 Valley Masters. In addition to the Great Valley Master Tianji, there were 2 Nirvana Masters, Ghost-Faced Silver-Haired Demon Dove and Black Tortoise. Although Zongtian Valley was unknown, some people suspected that it had something to do with a major event that shook the Central World several years ago. At the birthday banquet of the Heavy Heaven Sect Master, the 3rd most powerful force of Jiutian Divine Kingdom, 4 masters with unfathomable strength appeared. They killed 17 Nirvana Realm Masters, including a prince of Jiutian Divine Kingdom, and destroyed the foundation of Heavy Heaven Sect. Zongtian Valley was in the depths of 10 Directions Mountain. After a few days of traveling, the extremely fast spirit boat crossed an extremely vast area and flew to the sky above a boundless forest that was filled with lofty mountains and lofty ridges. Feng Chen, put away the spirit boat and let's go down. We have imposed many restrictions on 10 Directions Mountain, so the spirit boat can't get close to Zongtian Valley. Black Tortoise said. Okay. Yi Chunfeng nodded and put away the spirit boat. Then, he flew into the 10 Directions Great Mountains, which were filled with towering trees that reached into the clouds. They followed a special path as they traveled through the mountains. What a mysterious method of setting up a formation. As Yi Chunfeng followed Black Tortoise into 10 Directions Mountain, the God-Eater brain quickly deduced. He found that there were many restrictions hidden in 10 Directions Mountain. Those who trespassed would either get lost in the mountain or be attacked by the restrictions. Finally, Yi Chunfeng followed Black Tortoise into 10 Directions Mountain. After traveling for more than half a day, they arrived at the depths of the mountain. They found more than a dozen steep mountain peaks in the distance that formed a valley. The dense spiritual chi of heaven and earth gathered into a thin mist that lingered at the peak of the mountain. It was ethereal. That is Zongtian Valley for us 4 brothers. If Big Brother and the others know that I invited you, they will be overjoyed. Black Tortoise pointed at Zongtian Valley that was bathed in dense spiritual chi. Spiritual gathering formation. Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up. He found that there was a high-level spiritual gathering formation hidden in Zongtian Valley. The spiritual chi in the valley was almost solid because of the spiritual gathering formation. Big brother, second brother, third sister, look who I invited. When the Black Tortoise led Yi Chunfeng into the fairy-like sky burial valley, it immediately yelled at the top of its lungs, "Come here! Fourth brother, don't make a fuss. Big brother is healing second brother. Don't distract him." Wearing a linen robe and holding a dragon-headed cane, the silver-haired devil dove walked out of a wooden house and shouted loudly. Second brother was injured. Black Tortoise raised his eyebrows and said angrily, "Who hurt second brother? It's you. Why are you here?" The silver-haired devil dove didn't answer Black Tortoise. Instead, she looked at Yi Chunfeng, whom she had met once in Heaven neighborhood. She showed a surprised expression and asked vigilantly, "Third sister, I invited Feng Chen to make elixirs for Big Brother." Black Tortoise explained. So it was like this. Thinking of Yi Chunfeng's identity, the hostility on the silver-haired devil dove's face lessened a little. She said, "Black Tortoise Feng Chen, wait here for a moment. Everything will wait until Big Brother heals second brother." Okay. Yi Chunfeng nodded and sat under an ancient tree with luxuriant leaves. He inhaled the rich spiritual chi in the valley and waited patiently. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the save at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you can see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1361. The spiritual energy in Burial Valley that was close to liquid state was attracted and suddenly became restless. Like rivers flowing into the sea, it crazily rushed towards a wooden house in the distance. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. After about half an incense stick time, the crazily surging spiritual energy gradually calmed down, and Burial Valley regained its calm. At this moment, a tall man in a black martial arts suit walked out of the wooden house. He was tall and straight, and his sideburns were slightly gray. At first sight of the man in black, Yi Chunfeng was surprised to find that with his eyesight and soul power, he couldn't see his appearance clearly. He was like a cloud of fog, unpredictable. "I didn't expect you to come here." Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was sitting under the ancient tree and looking at him in silence, Tianji's erratic face showed a rare smile and said, "Should I call you Feng Chen or Yi Chunfeng? Does Sky Valley Master know me?" Hearing that Tianji knew his real name, Yi Chunfeng's pupils shrank, revealing a vigilant and surprised expression, constantly guessing Tianji's identity. "Don't be nervous, I have no ill intentions towards you. I just heard an old friend mention you, so I know your real name." Tianji looked at Yi Chunfeng, whose eyes were flickering and his heart was extremely unsettled, and said slowly. Yi Chunfeng asked with a cold expression, An old friend doesn't know who Sky Valley Master is talking about. Tianji didn't answer Yi Qinfeng's question, but his hands gently moved like flowing water, forming a yin-yang Dao disc. And in the Dao disc, two lively little fish swayed their long tails, swimming in the yin-yang Dao disc. Yin-yang Pisces disc. Seeing that Tianji actually used the supernatural power that Luo Xin used to kill the soul of Skylord, Yi Qinfeng was shocked. He didn't expect Tianji to be related to Luo Xin. Now you believe that I have no ill intentions towards you, right? Looking at Yi Qinfeng, whose pupils shrank and heart was shocked, Tianji said slowly. Sky Valley Master had recently seen Senior Luo. Yi Qinfeng suppressed the shock in his heart and asked. Regarding Luo Qianbei's matter, we can slowly talk about it in detail in the future. Obviously Ji was unwilling to mention Luo Xin's matter in public. Changing the topic, he said, By the way, Yi Qinfeng, why did you suddenly visit our Zongtian Valley? Big brother, I was the one who asked Fengqin to refine the heaven-reversing divine pill for you. The tall and sturdy black tortoise roared. Yep, for you broke through to nirvana. When Tianji looked at the black tortoise, his eyes brightened. He realized that the black tortoise's strength had undergone a qualitative leap. It had surpassed the limit of nirvana and reached nirvana. This was all thanks to Fengqin. If it wasn't for his help, not only would I not have been able to break through to nirvana, I might have even been killed by the people of the Kirin Kingdom. The people of the Kirin Kingdom are tired of living. How dare they touch the people of our Zongtian Valley? The silver-haired demon dove's flat eyes emitted a dense killing intent. Yi Qinfeng, you saved the black tortoise and helped him break through to nirvana. Our Zongtian Valley naturally has to repay this kindness. What do you want? Tianji kept sizing up Yi Qinfeng and said, Let's talk about it after I refine the heaven-reversing divine pill for Sky Valley Master. Yi Qinfeng said with a smile. How confident are you in refining the heaven-reversing divine pill? Tianji's eyes brightened as he asked. Can I take a look at the pill recipe first? Yi Qinfeng didn't answer immediately. Instead, he wanted to study the heaven-reversing divine pill's recipe and see how difficult it was to refine it. Of course you can. Tianji nodded and took out a yellowed parchment from his Qiankuan ring. He flicked his finger and it flew toward Yi Qinfeng. Spreading out the parchment, Yi Qinfeng found that the parchment was a little incomplete. He frowned slightly and closed his eyes. He controlled the god-eating brain to deduce the 63 elixirs densely recorded on the parchment. After about half an incense stick's time, Yi Qinfeng opened his closed eyes and said, Sky Valley Master, this heaven-reversing divine pill's recipe is incomplete. The incomplete black tortoise stared at him and said, Fengqin, are you sure? He is right. This heaven-reversing divine pill's recipe is indeed incomplete. It should be missing one or two main ingredients. Tianji nodded. Then what should we do? The black tortoise's heart turned cold as he said with disappointment. If you trust me, let me try. Maybe I can refine a nearly complete heaven-reversing divine pill. Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and said, Okay, whether you succeed or not, I will not blame you. Tianji said proudly and handed over the 63 precious main ingredients to Yi Qinfeng. He personally brought him to an underground alchemy room that was built with a whole piece of heavenly fire stone. The temperature was extremely high. Yi Qinfeng, I think you should have guessed my relationship with Senior Luo. Walking into the extremely hot underground alchemy room, Tianji did not leave immediately. Instead, he revealed his true appearance and looked at Yi Qinfeng. Sky Valley Master, you are Senior Luo's disciple, right? Yi Qinfeng slowly said as he looked at Tianji's face that was as white as a scholar's. Yes, Senior Luo is my teacher. Tianji nodded and said, A while ago, my teacher came to find me and told me about you. He also asked me to keep an eye on you and help you when the time is right. Help me? What does Senior Luo mean? Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly and asked in surprise. My teacher did not say it clearly, but from what he said, he seemed to be taking care of you because he was asked by someone else. Tianji revealed an important piece of information. Asked by someone else? Yi Chunfeng was even more shocked. He could not think of who else he knew. Yi Chunfeng, don't try to guess my teacher's intention. I think he will tell you when the time is right. Tianji said slowly as he looked at Yi Chunfeng, who was deep in thought. Thank you for telling me, Valley Master Tian. Yi Chunfeng nodded. Okay, I will go and protect you. I will not let anyone disturb you. Tianji nodded and turned to leave. Tianji, Luo Shun, and a mysterious person who is watching me silently. Who could this person be? After Tianji left, Yi Chunfeng fell into deep thought. However, no matter how hard he racked his brain, he could not figure out who could have asked the Luo god, who was suspected to be the guardian of the fighting spirit continent, to take care of him. Sigh, forget it, I will not think about it. After thinking for a while, Yi Chunfeng, who could not figure it out, gave up. He took out the 63 main ingredients for refining the divine reverse elixir and controlled the God-Eater brain to deduce the medicinal properties. He tried to use other spiritual herbs to complete the elixir formula of the divine reverse elixir. Yi Chunfeng controlled the God-Eater brain to deduce for 3 days and 3 nights without sleep. He felt that this elixir formula lacked the fire attribute spiritual herbs. He took a risk and replaced them with 2 heavenly fire dates that were more than 200,000 years old. He summoned the Suzaku cauldron and threw the 63 main ingredients into the Suzaku cauldron one by one according to the order. He then sprayed the sky-burning sacred fire into the cauldron to purify and refine the elixir. Soon, nearly a month had passed. The sunny sky above Burial Valley was suddenly covered by dark clouds. The whole world suddenly darkened as if the end of the world had come. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1362. Tribulation Clouds. These were tribulation clouds. Could it be that Feng Chen had succeeded in concocting a low-grade sage pill? Looking at the tribulation clouds that suddenly appeared in the sky, Black Tortoise and the others were filled with excitement. They were shocked that Yi Chunfeng was still able to concoct a low-grade sage pill and attract a pill tribulation even though the pill formula was incomplete. Yi Chunfeng, as expected of the person that master admires. Tianji's deep eyes shot out rays of light as he fell into deep thought. The terrifying tribulation clouds wreaked havoc for more than 2 hours. Then, the 10,000 feet pill tribulation descended. It directly blasted through the ground and the alchemy room built with heavenly fire rocks, attacking Yi Chunfeng and the heaven reversal holy pill he was refining. 5-element Tao diagram, heaven and earth Tao diagram, life and death Tao diagram. Restriction facing the attack of the pill tribulation, Yi Chunfeng didn't panic. He quickly summoned the 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams and sealed the void, forcefully weakening the power of the pill tribulation. He borrowed the power of the pill tribulation to increase the speed of concocting the heaven reversal sage pill. Although the heaven reversal sage pill attracted the pill tribulation, the power of the pill tribulation was limited. Coupled with the fact that the spirit-grade Tao diagrams were extremely powerful, he could handle it with ease. Spirit-grade Tao diagrams, 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams. Tianji and the others were standing in midair, quietly watching Yi Chunfeng withstand the baptism of the pill tribulation. When they saw that Yi Chunfeng had actually condensed 3 spirit-grade Tao diagrams, they revealed shocked expressions. They were shocked by his comprehension of Tao. This was because even Tianji, who was at the peak of the Nirvana heavenly realm, could only cultivate the yin-yang Tao diagram to the spirit grade, and this was all thanks to Luotian's help. What was Yi Chunfeng's background? Tianji felt that Yi Chunfeng wasn't simple, but he didn't have a trace of jealousy. Instead, he was more determined to protect Yi Chunfeng. He had a feeling that Yi Chunfeng would be the key person to change the Central World. The terrifying pill tribulation rampaged for about a day before gradually dissipating. Shortly after, a thick medicinal fragrance spread out from the severely damaged alchemy room. Phew, I didn't disappoint you. I succeeded. Yi Chunfeng, who was slightly pale, dragged his heavy body out of the dilapidated alchemy room and handed a heaven reversal sage pill that was still warm to Tianji. Yi Chunfeng, are you interested in joining my Zhangtian Valley? Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was far more outstanding than he had imagined, Tianji put away the heaven reversal sage pill that Yi Chunfeng handed over to him and asked. Joining Zhangtian Valley. Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly and looked into Tianji's deep eyes. Don't worry, joining Burial Valley won't restrict you in any way. Moreover, at the right time, we'll be your most solid backing. Looking at the hesitant Yi Chunfeng, Tianji said, besides, we have the same goal. With the same goal in mind, Tianji's words moved Yi Chunfeng. Furthermore, he did have a good impression of Tianji and the Black Tortoise. Adding on his relationship with Luotian, he pondered for a moment and said, since Valley Master Tian thinks so highly of me, then I shall accept your offer. Haha, I knew you would agree. Tianji laughed and said, from now on, you are our fifth brother. Zhangtian Valley will be more powerful. Little brother greets big brother, second brother, third sister, fourth brother. Yi Chunfeng was also a sentimental person. After swearing a blood oath, he completely accepted Tianji and the others. Big brother, fifth brother needs mid-grade heaven crystals. Can big brother give fifth brother some? Black Tortoise was very excited to become sworn brothers with Yi Chunfeng. The number of mid-grade heaven crystals in the Central World is relatively small. Big brother only has 18. You can have them all. Tianji generously gave all the mid-grade heaven crystals he had to Yi Chunfeng. Fifth brother, second brother also has 10 mid-grade heaven crystals. Here you go. Ghostface, who was thin and wore a silver ghost mask that hid his true face, took out 10 mid-grade heaven crystals and gave them to Yi Chunfeng. Silver-haired Devil Dove, who killed people like scything flax, also took out 8 mid-grade heaven crystals from his Qiankuan ring and gave them to Yi Chunfeng. 36 mid-grade heaven crystals were enough to control the sword puppet's attack for a long time. However, because the high-grade heaven crystals were about to be used up, the sword puppet's attack power was still greatly affected. Big brother, second brother, third sister, fourth brother, I also have something for you. After taking the 36 mid-grade heaven crystals, Yi Chunfeng gave the purple dragon Emperor Ginseng, which could increase the strength of Nirvana Heavenly Realm warriors and slow down aging, to Tianji. He also gave Ghostface 3 petals of the golden fiery lotus and a low-grade saint artifact. He also gave the silver-haired Devil Dove 2 300,000-year-old spirit herbs and a low-grade saint artifact. He also gave the Black Tortoise a low-grade saint artifact and a supreme-grade Dao artifact battlesuit. Fifth brother, the things you gave us are too valuable. Looking at the treasures Yi Chunfeng gave them, Tianji and the others were deeply shocked. Putting aside the value of the purple dragon Emperor Ginseng, just the 3 low-grade sacred weapons were priceless treasures in the Central World. Big brother, this is a token of my appreciation. Just accept it, Yi Chunfeng said with a smile. All right, then we will shamelessly accept it. The purple dragon Emperor Ginseng was indeed very useful to Tianji. With it, his strength would increase by another level. Chunfeng, what else do you need besides mid-grade heaven crystals? Ghostface fondly caressed the low-grade sacred weapon Yi Chunfeng gave him, the undead spirit spear. I am indeed lacking 4 main ingredients for refining pills: Phoenix blood mushroom, psychic green lotus, and Koan wood rebirth fruit. Do you have any? Yi Chunfeng asked softly. Psychic green lotus, I have one. I will give it to you. Tianji took out a palm-sized green lotus from his Qian Kuan ring and gave it to Yi Chunfeng. It was green in color and emitted a strong spiritual aura. As for the other 3 main ingredients for refining the heavenly sacred shackle pill, they didn't have them. Qingfeng, we will remember the 4 main ingredients you need. When we have time, we will help you find them, the silver-haired devil dove said. Thank you, third sister. Alright, Qingfeng, in a few days, the 4 of us are going to do something big. Are you interested in participating? Tianji asked with a smile. What big thing? Yi Qinfeng's eyes lit up, revealing a trace of interest. We are going to destroy Heavenly Mountain Island, one of the 9 great forbidden grounds of the 9 heavens divine kingdom. Tianji said without hiding anything. Yi Qinfeng, who was going to destroy the 9 heavens divine kingdom's heavenly mountain root, sucked in a breath of cold air and said, Second brother won't be hurt because of this, right? Yes, I sneaked into Heavenly Mountain Island a few days ago to find the Heavenly Mountain Island's spirit vein root, but I was discovered by a Nirvana Heavenly Realm powerhouse of the 9 heavens divine kingdom guarding Heavenly Mountain Island. If Big Brother didn't come to my rescue in time, I would have died. Ghostface nodded and said with lingering fear. Since I have joined Burial Valley, I will advance and retreat with everyone. Yi Qinfeng said. Fifth brother, it's great that you are willing to help. Tianji said with a satisfied smile. Big brother has a task for me, Yi Qinfeng asked. Yes, your second brother failed to find the location of the Heavenly Mountain Island's Heavenly Mountain route, so the Heavenly Mountain Island has strengthened its security. It will be difficult for unfamiliar Nirvana Realm powerhouses to enter, so I want to ask you to sneak into Heavenly Mountain Island and find the Heavenly Mountain route. Tianji nodded and said, Only by finding the Heavenly Mountain route can we destroy it before the experts of the 9 heavens divine kingdom arrive. Big brother, leave the task of finding the Heavenly Mountain route to me. I guarantee that I will complete the task. Yi Qinfeng patted his chest and promised. Haha, good. Tianji laughed and said, Let's go and have a drink. In a few days, we will do something big that will shock the entire central world and throw the 9 heavens divine kingdom into chaos. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1363. Sky Mountain Island was located in the southwest region of the 9 heavens divine nation, close to the mysterious sea. It was a large island that was connected to the mainland. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. The island was surrounded by mountains, and the scenery was picturesque. It was spring all year round, and many couples in the 9 heavens divine nation yearned for this place. Fifth brother, be careful. If you are discovered, immediately crush this communication pearl to inform me. I will come to your aid immediately. After several days of traveling, Yi Qinfeng's group of 5 approached Sky Mountain Island. After consuming the heaven-reversing divine pill, Tianji, who had fully recovered from his injuries, passed a communication pearl to Yi Qinfeng and solemnly instructed him. Don't worry, big brother, I will be careful. I am leaving now. After saying that, Yi Qinfeng bid farewell to Tianji and the others. He put on the human-skinned mask that Absolute Sword gave him and slowly walked towards Sky Mountain Island. Sky Mountain Island was indeed much more heavily guarded. After entering Sky Mountain Island, Yi Qinfeng discovered that the island was enveloped in a large array. Once this array was fully activated, it would isolate the entire island and seal off space. How could he find the location of the Sky Vein route on Sky Mountain Island? Walking on the wet ancient road of Sky Mountain Island, Yi Qinfeng kept thinking of a solution. After thinking for a while, Yi Qinfeng decided to make a move on the native forces of Sky Mountain Island. He would capture a few experts and search their souls to obtain important information. After making his decision, Yi Qinfeng arrived at a rather large restaurant on Sky Mountain Island. He ordered a few delicacies and drank while searching for his target. At noon, the restaurant was filled with customers, and they were all talking about various things. With Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul, he managed to obtain a piece of information that piqued his interest. Tonight, the eldest daughter of the Xian family, one of the three ancient families of Sky Mountain Island, Xian Moyuan, was holding a birthday banquet at the resplendent Emerald Fragrance residence in Southern City. At that time, both the Yen family and the Di family would attend. Even the true overlord of Sky Mountain Island, the Nine Heavens imperial family, might appear. Looks like my luck is not bad. Perhaps I can complete the mission earlier. Yi Chunfeng finished the wine in his cup and revealed a faint smile as he muttered to himself. Night fell, and the lanterns were lit. The gentle moonlight enveloped the heavenly mountain island, giving people a hazy feeling. Here we are at the Emerald Blossom residence. After asking around, Yi Chunfeng arrived at the bustling Splendid Jade Fragrance residence. The gentle sound of zither drifted in the air. His body flashed slightly, and quietly entered the place like a ghost. The people of Tianshan Island are indeed more bold and unrestrained than those of the inland cities. After entering the brightly lit resplendent Emerald Fragrance abode, Yi Chunfeng saw dozens of scantily clad men and women gathered in the spacious square. Among them, there were a few tall women with heavy makeup. They were wearing almost transparent tulle miniskirts. Their beautiful bodies were faintly discernible under the light. They were holding wine glasses and chatting with others, enjoying the burning gazes around them. "Who are you? How did you get in?" Just as Yi Chunfeng was standing in a remote corner, looking around for a target, a cold voice suddenly sounded. It was a woman wearing a dark green low-cut dress. She had a fiery figure and exposed a pair of snow-white thighs. She looked at Yi Chunfeng's unfamiliar face and spoke with hostility. "I've admired Miss Xian for a long time. Today, I came here because of her reputation. I especially wanted to give Miss Xian a birthday present." Yi Chunfeng didn't want to alert the enemy. He looked at the green-dressed woman and quickly made up an excuse. "Is that so?" The green-dressed woman didn't completely believe Yi Chunfeng's explanation. Her eyes widened as she secretly sized up Yi Chunfeng. She was considering whether or not she should find someone to investigate Yi Chunfeng's identity. At this moment, a spirit illusion Dao diagram appeared in Yi Chunfeng's deep eyes. Endless illusory light burst forth and poured into the green-dressed woman's eyes, temporarily taking control of her mind. "Let's go. Take me to today's main character, Yi Chunfeng," he commanded. "Yes." The green-dressed woman obediently obeyed. She intimately hugged Yi Chunfeng's arm and brought him to the main hall of the Emerald Splendor Pavilion, which was decorated with a large number of flowers. They saw Xian Moyuan, who was wearing a tight white strapless dress with a golden ribbon tied around her slender waist. Her snow-white chest revealed a tender white cleavage. She gave off a wild and dynamic beauty. "Sister Moyuan, happy birthday!" The green-dressed woman brought Yi Chunfeng to the charming and unrestrained Xian Moyuan. She spoke sweetly and gave her the gift she had carefully prepared. "Thank you, Ling Er." Xian Moyuan took the gift from the green-dressed woman and shifted her gaze to the unfamiliar Yi Chunfeng. She secretly sized him up and asked, "Miss Xian, I'm your admirer. I wish you to become younger and more beautiful." Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile. He took out a fist-sized luminous pearl that emitted a faint spiritual energy from his universe ring and gave it to Xian Moyuan. Looking at the gift Yi Chunfeng gave her, Xian Moyuan's eyes lit up. She was overjoyed. Yi Chunfeng had a unique temperament that deeply attracted her, making her develop a strong interest in Yi Chunfeng. "Thank you for your gift. I like it very much. Miss Xian, do we have time to talk?" Yi Chunfeng asked elegantly. "Of course, but I'll have to wait until the birthday party is over before I have time." The more she looked at Yi Chunfeng, the more she liked him. She realized that Yi Chunfeng had a boundless charm that constantly tugged at her heart. She agreed without hesitation. Xian Moyuan was a famous social butterfly on Tianshan Island. She had seen countless men. Therefore, when she accepted Yi Chenfeng's invitation, her friends were not surprised. "Moyuan, young Master D is here." At this moment, a beautiful woman in a black chong sam with a voluptuous figure came to Xian Moyuan's side and whispered, "Don't go. Wait for me obediently. There will be a surprise tonight." Xian Moyuan gently lifted her toes and whispered a few words in Yi Chenfeng's ear. Then, she left with a fragrant, "Mr. D, a member of the Nine Heavens Divine Kingdom's royal family." Although Xian Moyuan was wild and unrestrained, sexy and enchanting, enough to make many men unable to extricate themselves and willingly kneel under her skirt, at this moment, Mr. D, who had just arrived, was more interested in Yi Chenfeng. "Come on, let's find a place to drink." Yi Chenfeng saw Mr. D, who was wearing a gorgeous robe and had a trace of arrogance on his face, walking slowly in the middle of a group of beauties. He was not in a hurry to make a move on him. He walked to the side with the green-dressed woman and slowly tasted the wine, waiting for an opportunity. Slowly, Xian Moyuan's birthday banquet came to an end. Mr. D, who had enjoyed a lot of women, left the Emerald Splendor House early with Xian Moyuan. Just as Yi Chenfeng was waiting for an opportunity to follow him and search his soul, two women in aquamarine tulle skirts and light makeup came to Yi Chenfeng and said softly, "Sir, the room has been arranged for you. Miss asked you to wait for her in the room. She will come to you soon." "I have something to do today. Another day." Yi Chenfeng did not expect Xian Moyuan to be so bold and unrestrained. She asked him to stay the night as soon as they met. "Young master, before the young miss left, she told us that we must make you stay. If you leave, the young miss will beat us to death." When the two women in green saw that Yi Chenfeng was determined to leave, their expressions changed slightly as they pleaded pitifully. When the two women were begging, Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul power found that Mr. D and Xian Moyuan had deceived his soul power and left. He was quite surprised. After thinking for a while, he nodded and said, "Let's go. Take me to the room." "Thank you, sir." Seeing Yi Chenfeng changed his mind, the two teary-eyed women in green dresses were overjoyed. They immediately took Yi Chenfeng to a luxuriously decorated wing room with a faint orchid fragrance and waited for Xian Moyuan's arrival. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1364. This Sky Mountain Island was a little interesting. They actually activated the isolation restriction at night. It seemed that Second Brother's infiltration some time ago had given them a premonition and raised the defense level of Sky Mountain Island to the highest level. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. Yi Chenfeng sat cross-legged on the soft red bed and withdrew his released soul power. He muttered to himself and patiently waited for Xian Moyuan to return. After waiting for a long time, it was close to midnight when the closed door was pushed open. Xian Moyuan, with slightly sharp hair, rosy skin and watery eyes, walked in, bringing with her a burst of fragrance. Looking at Xian Moyuan's delicate face and the hint of seduction between her eyebrows, Yi Chenfeng guessed that she had just had sex with Di Fenggu, and he immediately felt disgusted. "You've been waiting for too long, haven't you?" Xian Moyuan slowly closed the door and looked at Yi Chenfeng, who was sitting cross-legged with a unique temperament, with blurred eyes. She revealed a charming smile and swayed her sexy waist as she walked over. "You were with Di Fenggu just now?" Yi Chenfeng looked at the seductive and coquettish Xian Moyuan and asked indifferently, "Why are you jealous?" Xian Moyuan's seductive red lips curled up slightly. She gently stretched out her slender fingers and hooked Yi Chenfeng's chin. She gently exhaled a breath of hot air, stirring up Yi Chenfeng's heart. "No." Yi Chenfeng met Xian Moyuan's charming eyes and shook his head. Xian Moyuan, who was still being stubborn, gently bent down and pressed her seductive red lips against Yi Chenfeng's ear. She said, "But I like it when you're jealous. Come on, show me your wild side and let me see how much you like me. Just as Xian Moyuan was about to push Yi Chunfeng onto the bed, the soul power in Yi Chunfeng's brain burst out like a heavy hammer and ruthlessly smashed into her soul sea. Her eyes went black and she directly fainted in Yi Chunfeng's arms. You think too highly of your charm. Looking at Xian Moyuan in his arms, Yi Chunfeng's heart did not waver at all. He reached out and pressed his hand on the top of Xian Moyuan's head, using the God-Eater brain to search her soul. After the soul-searching ended, the disgust in Yi Chunfeng's eyes deepened. He was disgusted with Xian Moyuan's decadent life. He threw her onto the bed and quickly sorted through her soul memories. At dawn, Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul power sensed that the barrier outside had disappeared. He left the splendid Emerald Fragrance Hotel and arrived at Di Fenggu's courtyard according to the soul memory he had obtained. His body flashed as he silently entered the courtyard. This emperor is in a good mood. Yi Chunfeng's spiritual force enveloped the entire monastery. Through the layers of restrictions, he locked onto Di Fenggu. At this time, he was intensely exercising on the bed with a petite, voluptuous, and hot woman. The whole room was filled with a charming atmosphere. Yi Chunfeng turned into a phantom and appeared outside the house. He took out the ancient map fragment and sealed the entire courtyard. He forcefully broke the seal outside the house and pushed the door open. Who are you? Di Fenggu, who was about to climb to the top, saw a person suddenly appear in the house. He was so scared that his whole body trembled. He looked at Yi Chunfeng as if he was facing a great enemy. As for the naked, plump woman with flushed skin, she shrieked in fright. She grabbed the blanket at the side to cover her exposed body and shivered. Why don't you recognize me? Yi Chunfeng asked with a faint smile, looking at the gloomy Di Fenggu with his hands behind his back. It's you. What are you doing here? Di Fenggu recognized Yi Chunfeng, and his uneasy heart calmed down a little. He roared loudly, Did that bitch Xian Moyuan send you here? Stop shouting. It's useless even if you shout until your throat breaks. After saying that, Yi Chunfeng walked with heavy steps toward Di Fenggu, whose face changed slightly. Guards, where are the guards? Di Fenggu shouted at the top of his voice. You'd better save your strength. No one can save you. Yi Chunfeng said coldly. Go to hell. As Yi Chunfeng approached, Di Fenggu did not hesitate to burn his powerful bloodline power. He controlled a Gu Dao treasure-level ancient heavy axe and chopped at Yi Chunfeng. The moment Di Fenggu controlled the Gu Dao treasure's heavy axe to attack, the voluptuous woman wrapped in the quilt and shivering had a murderous look in her eyes. A sharp dagger appeared in her hand. She stabbed at Yi Chunfeng's chest at the same time. Being attacked by Di Fenggu and the voluptuous woman at the same time, Yi Chunfeng did not panic. The power of the 5 acupoints in his body burst out. He quickly punched out and blew away the Gu Dao treasure's heavy axe. Go to hell. Seizing the opportunity when Yi Chunfeng blew away the heavy axe, the voluptuous woman gathered all her strength and stabbed the sharp dagger at Yi Chunfeng's chest. She wanted to pierce through his chest. What? The moment the sharp dagger stabbed into Yi Chunfeng's chest, the voluptuous woman's expression changed. She realized that the dagger in her hand seemed to have stabbed into an extremely hard piece of black iron. Not only was it unable to pierce through, but there was also a strong rebound force from the dagger. She almost lost her grip on the dagger. Just as her face was filled with fear and she instinctively dodged, Yi Chunfeng quickly punched out. The terrifying fist light directly shattered the sharp dagger and hit her voluptuous body, sending her flying. Bang! Her soft body crashed into the hard wall. Her completely twisted body suddenly exploded. Large amounts of blood and flesh splattered everywhere. Wait, what do you want? As long as you say it, I'll agree to it. Witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng exploding the voluptuous woman with a single punch, Di Fenggu was shocked by Yi Chunfeng's strength. His heart turned cold, and large amounts of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. He had no choice but to open his mouth and beg for mercy. Not interested. Yi Chenfeng softly spat out 3 words. He turned into an afterimage and appeared behind Di Fenggu, easily restraining him. While he was screaming in fear, Yi Chenfeng used the god-devouring brain to search his soul. Di Fenggu was the Sky Mountain Island Master's nephew. He was also a direct disciple of the 9 Heavens divine nation. With a high status, he knew a lot of secret. After searching his soul, Yi Chenfeng obtained the general location of the Sky Mountain Island's spirit vein. Crack. After obtaining the information he wanted, Yi Chenfeng didn't show any mercy. He slightly squeezed his 5 fingers and directly crushed Di Fenggu's head, killing him on the spot. After taking away Di Fenggu's remains, Yi Chenfeng released the heaven-burning sacred flame. After destroying the corpse, he took back the ancient map fragment and quietly left, heading for the Sky Mountain Range where the Sky Mountain Range was. Restrictions, so many restrictions. Approaching the Sky Mountain Range that was like a long dragon coiling around the Sky Mountain Island, Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul sensed layers upon layers of restrictions in the Sky Mountain Range. It was very difficult for ordinary people to enter the mountain range. The space-swallowing bug broke through the restrictions. In order to avoid alerting the enemy, Yi Chenfeng summoned the level 9 heavenly beast, the space-swallowing bug, and let it constantly devour the restrictions in the Sky Mountain Range. Then, it carefully led him into the Sky Mountain Range. Suddenly, Yi Chenfeng's level 3 divine saint's soul sensed something strange. Without hesitation, he hid in the universe realm with the space-swallowing bug. When the outside world returned to normal, he left the universe realm with the space-swallowing bug and continued to enter the Sky Mountain Range. Slowly, Yi Chenfeng approached the core of the Sky Mountain Range. However, he was blocked by a light screen. When he controlled the god-devouring brain to quickly amplify his soul power and forcibly penetrated the light screen, he felt a vast and majestic heavenly energy. He finally found the Sky Mountain Island's Sky Mountain Range's route. Yi Chenfeng let out a long sigh of relief. He took out his communication pearl and immediately told Tianji this news. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1365. Big Brother, I have found the location of the heavenly route on Sky Mountain Island. Yi Chenfeng concealed his aura and hid in a lush bush. He took out his communication pearl and told Tianji and the others the exact location of the heavenly route. Fifth brother, don't act rashly. Wait for us to arrive and we will move together. Tianji did not expect Yi Chenfeng to find the heavenly route so quickly. He was overjoyed. After giving some instructions, he split up with Ghostface and the others and sneaked into Sky Mountain Island. Well, you guys are finally here. When Tianji and the other 3 entered the Sky Mountain Island, the powerful formation above the island immediately sensed them. A white-haired old man guarding the Sky Vein route opened his eyes. His hands moved rapidly, increasing the power of the formation as he locked onto Tianji and the other 3. Big Brother, can you feel it? The formation above Sky Mountain Island is increasing in power. Have we been exposed? Ghostface looked at the faintly discernible formation with a serious expression. He took out his communication pearl and sent a message to Tianji. Well, we have been exposed. Tianji took a deep breath and made a prompt decision. Everyone, quickly gather outside Sky Mountain. We will work together to break the formation and meet up with Fifth Brother. Whoosh, whoosh. Now that their whereabouts were exposed, Tianji and the others had nothing to worry about. They sped up and arrived outside Sky Mountain, where ancient trees towered into the sky. Everyone, follow me. Tianji took out an octagonal disk array and deduced all kinds of formation patterns. He led Ghostface and the others into the perilous Sky Mountain. When Tianji controlled the 8-sided array disk to forcefully break through a layer of powerful seals, the scene in front of them changed. The lush forest disappeared and was replaced by a blazing inferno of lava that was bubbling with hot bubbles. "You guys escaped last time. You won't be so lucky this time." An old voice suddenly rang out. A large number of formation patterns appeared in the extremely hot lava hell, forming a boundless sea of fire that swept towards Tianji and the others. "Humph, you want to trap me with a mere illusion formation?" Tianji harumphed coldly. He suddenly took a step forward. With his foot as the center, the space within a radius of a mile immediately distorted, tearing apart the incoming sea of fire. The sea of fire could not get close to them at all. In the next moment, the octagonal disc floating above his head spun rapidly, deducing the reality of the illusory array and cracking its power. Break! Following Tianji's roar, the lava purgatory that trapped them broke apart. Tianji had relied on his absolute strength to break out of the illusion array space. "Your Excellency is indeed capable. I underestimated you. It seems that you aren't an ordinary person in the central world." Seeing Tianji easily break the purgatory illusion array, a look of surprise appeared on the mysterious voice's face. He grew curious about Tianji's identity. Azure Dragon Spear. One spear breaks all laws. Tianji ignored the mysterious voice. His deep eyes shone with a light that was even more dazzling than the stars. He took out his mid-grade saint artifact, the Azure Dragon Spear, and stabbed out courageously. It stirred up the space and stabbed towards the seal space before him. As the spear stabbed out, boundless light illuminated the surroundings. The terrifying spear light was like a ferocious dragon, devouring everything. It tore through the powerful seals in the Celestial Mountain range and rapidly brought Ghostface and the others into the depths of the mountain range. Celestial Mountain Talisman, seal heaven and earth. Holding the Azure Dragon Spear, Tianji constantly tore through the powerful seals in the mountain range. Just as he was about to force his way in, a dark yellow ancient talisman appeared in the air. It fused with the Celestial Mountain range and turned into a towering mountain, crushing down with a tremendous force. Azure Dragon Spear Technique. Seeing the Seal Mountain crushing down, Tianji wielded the Azure Dragon Spear and used an extremely powerful Earth Spear technique that he had created himself. It churned the space and tore through the sky. He rapidly attacked the Seal Mountain, forcibly cracking it bit by bit. As Tianji attacked with his full strength, Ghostface and the other two used the low-grade saint artifacts that Yi Chunfeng had given them. They used powerful killer moves to attack the Seal Mountain, constantly weakening its power. Boom! Boom! Earth-shattering explosions constantly rang out. Tianji and the other three attacked together, creating devastating attack. However, the seal formation formed by the Celestial Mountain Talisman fused with the power of the Celestial Mountain range was just as powerful. It blocked all the killer moves that Tianji and the others used consecutively. The terrifying recoil caused the Celestial Mountain range to tremble violently. Large numbers of cracks appeared and large swathes of ancient trees were reduced to ashes. Yin-Yang Spirit Grade Tao Diagram time was of the essence. Tianji did not waste any time. The Yin-Yang Spirit Grade Tao Diagram appeared on his body. When he fused with the Tao Diagram, his entire body turned into a Yin-Yang Tao disc. Boundless Yin-Yang energy fused into the Azure Dragon Spear, stimulating its power. Like a heavenly pillar, the spear pierced through the Seal Mountain and the Celestial Mountain Talisman. Seeing that the Celestial Mountain Talisman was about to be destroyed by Tianji's spear, the white-haired old man guarding the Celestial Mountain route immediately mobilized boundless Yin-Yang energy. He poured it into the severely damaged Celestial Mountain Talisman, rapidly repairing it and increasing the Seal Mountain's power. He continued to suppress Tianji and the others, stalling for time. Big Brother and the others are in trouble. Yi Chunfeng, who was hiding in the universe realm, sensed the commotion outside. He left the universe realm without hesitation and came to the outside world. He took out his communication pearl and sent a message to Tianji. Big brother, what do you need me to do? Fifth brother, someone is controlling the celestial mountain root's power to deal with us. Do you have a way to distract that person? Although Tianji was powerful, he was facing one of the 9 foundations of the 9 heavens god nation, the celestial mountain root. Okay, leave it to me. Yi Chunfeng agreed without hesitation. He summoned the space-swallowing bug and said, "Space-swallowing bug, break the seal." The seal outside the celestial mountain root was powerful, but it could not stop the space-swallowing bug from devouring it. Under the frenzied devouring of the space-swallower bugs, a large hole as tall as a person was bitten through the sky screen restriction. Yi Chunfeng's body moved slightly, and he passed through the large hole in the restriction and entered inside. "And how did you get in?" The white-haired old man, who was in the midst of controlling the heavenly vein root to increase the might of the restrictions, was stunned when he saw Yi Chunfeng suddenly appear. Then, he revealed a strange expression. He was surprised that someone could sneak in right under his nose. Take a guess. Yi Chunfeng sneered and summoned the sword puppet and golden battle god to attack him from the left and right. When the 2 clones approached the white-haired old man, a power beyond Yi Chunfeng's imagination erupted from the old man's body. It was like an erupting volcano, fiercely bombarding Yi Chunfeng's 2 clones, forcing them to retreat. Nirvana heavenly realm expert feeling the white-haired old man's sudden burst of power, Yi Chunfeng showed a trace of seriousness. However, he deliberately hid his 2 trump cards, Song Kunwu and Lei Yi. He ordered the 2 clones to attack with all their strength while using the wrath of God's punishment to bombard the white-haired old man, diverting his attention. Courting death after being attacked repeatedly, the white-haired old man was completely enraged. He roared furiously and appeared in front of Yi Chunfeng as if he had teleported. He launched a killer move, wanting to kill him first. Although the white-haired old man's attack speed was fast, Yi Chunfeng's reaction was faster. He used his sword steps to dodge the attack and stayed away from the white-haired old man. He dodged the killer move and ordered the 2 clones to continue attacking. When Yi Chunfeng was using all his strength to deal with the white-haired old man, the celestial mountain root's power was rapidly decreasing. Tianji seized this opportunity and tore apart the celestial mountain talisman with his spear. He brought Ghostface and the other 2, tore through layers of restrictions, and rushed over at an extremely fast speed. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.